part of the game, but if it sent me home, I'd be cussing my way down the ramp.
Oh, I'm not worried. I know I'm not going home tonight. How about that?
I just want to throw it out there. We are in a potential drawing rock situation. If you do have concerns about your rock-solid plan.
No, we don't have no concerns.
I feel like I just showed up at the wrong wedding or something.
Everyone's still talking. Unprecedented. Wow. Are you guys ready to vote? I don't want to break this up.
Yes, we're ready.
We're good. All right. It is time to vote. Haley, you're up.
I didn't consent.
You're not ready.
Haley, we can vote. We can vote.
Yeah, we can vote.
All right.
Let's vote.
You may regret it, but I'll go.
All right. It's time to vote. Haley's up. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Jeff, I found something this afternoon. Little necklace. I think I'm going to give it to... Who wants it? Pretty lady.
I'll read the votes. First vote, Sierra, does not count. Sierra, does not count. Sierra, does not count. Sierra, does not count. Sierra, does not count.
They go after.
Sierra, does not count. Fourth person voted out of Survivor Game Changers. Malcolm, that's 3, that's enough. Need to bring me your torch.
I'm gonna vomit.
Hi, this is David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and you're listening to Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. I promise I'm not trying to find an idol. Also, does anybody know where I can find an idol?
What the heck? That was an amazing tribal council. The best tribal council ever. Just thought I'd share that with you all. Welcome to Survivor Talk with D&D. We are just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. I am Dwaine, and I am here with David. Why is it still your picture? Where are you, David?
I'm going to need just a minute before.
What?
Hey, come here. Hey, we're going to change it. We're going to vote Charlie Brown. All right, Charlie Brown. It's not Vader, Charlie Brown.
This is unprecedented.
No, I think Vader's got an idol. Look, I think he's holding an idol. So we need to vote Charlie Brown. That's the plan. That's the new plan.
Which plan?
It's the new plan.
Stick to the original plan.
No, we can't stick to the plan. We got a new plan. Do you consent to this?
I do not consent to this.
Are y'all done?
Sorry. Yeah, we're done. That was my tribal council. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, David, what happened to you again?
Hold on, I said I'll be right back. I got to fix my camera.
Really? Ladies and gentlemen, David and his son acting out the tribal council. That was absolutely amazing. I'm not even going to tell you how many times I yelled the word wow during that.
How many times?
I'm not even going to tell you. David, are you going to get the camera on you?
Nope, working on it. That's why I went mute on it.
We got the rest of the tribe behind you, but we don't have you. I tell you what, man, this light over here is driving me nuts. I got this big blob of light on my glasses. Nice. All right, y'all. As you know, we are a family-friendly podcast. We have amazing fans, that's you, who watch and listen to our show. So basically, you are amazing. So feel free to say it out loud right now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm amazing. Awesome. I heard you say it. That was great. So if any of you amazing people would like to support this podcast financially, you can take your amazing self to your computer and navigate to stwdd.com/support. And once you're there, you can watch the short video if you want, read about our humble show beginnings if you want, or just select the giving option that is best for you and go back to watching cat videos on YouTube. You ever watched cat videos on YouTube, David?
No, but Davis does. That's his favorite animal.
Yeah. That's because he's, 11?
12, almost 13.
Yeah, 12, yeah. Pretty soon he'll watch other things on YouTube. David, did you know that we had Sunday Burquest on the show last week?
I heard. I did hear that. I heard Sunday. Yeah, I did hear.
Yeah. She did a fabulous job. So you might want to check that out, David.
I might.
All right. Let's get to the episode. Aren't you glad I don't play the entire theme?
Yes.
It's
Although
like,
I wouldn't care. That's fine.
let's see how long it is. Oh, well, I only have a minute clip, but it feels like forever.
Only a minute clip, and that's not all of it.
It just goes on and on
and on and on.
And on. David's going to be to the right of our screen the entire show, but that's okay.
I'm working on it.
Because I like David.
How about David this? Is this better?
Oh, yeah, it's great. Episode 4/week 3 of Survivor Game Changers. The tables have turned. Now, David, excuse me, on my TiVo, it does list it as episode 4. It does. The premiere was episode 1. Last week was episode 3. And this week it says episode 4. But who the heck knows?
Because I think, who was it? Andy told us, Andy Bustover said Wikipedia has 1, 2, and 3.
I know.
So we're throwing 3 in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who really knows what's going on in this world?
Well, it does make a difference because you get points for starting an episode. That's a whole slate of points right there.
Well, I think we originally did episode 1 as 1 and 2, so we're going to keep those scores.
I agree. Totally agree.
I agree, too. If you're wondering what we're talking about, the D&D Survivor Challenge, which is on our Facebook group, so we're not going to hear about it on this show, but except for preseason when we're going to talk about it a lot. But our Facebook group is awesome. Facebook.com/groups/Survivor Talk. Or is it Survivor_Talk? I don't know. Try them both. See what happens. I am in a very good mood.
I can tell.
David, I have been, okay, I know people wanted to get a Survivor, so I'm not going to tell you what an incredibly busy week I've had. Okay.
Are you still catching up from being sick?
Dude, it's not even catching up. You know, I have new responsibilities at work. I have 4 new staff members, so I have like 14 people that I'm over or something like that. And it's just a lot of work. So, initial thoughts. How many do you have? Because I have 4, David. Count them. 4.
I only have a couple. Go ahead and start yours.
All right. For the first time this season, Sandra had nothing to do with still being in the game. Zilch. In fact, she got outplayed and outwitted. She's lucky she didn't get a vote on her. She still hasn't had a vote on her, right, in her whole career?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm not sure.
We even heard her scoff at the end at the idea of somebody having an idol over there. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And she was at the mercy of the other team. This has never happened. All this after saying to Jeff, I'm not going home tonight, Jeff. How about that?
There you go.
So, for the first time this episode, maybe not the last, Sandra had nothing to do with her staying there, and she was scared.
You think she was?
Yeah. It's like, who did they go for? And she was waiting for that name, and it was Malcolm, and she went, that's right, I'm the queen.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that, too, when she said that. It's like, oh, don't say my name.
That's right, I'm the queen. I made them vote for Malcolm. All right, David.
After
David, I must not like you because I called you David.
I've always sensed that, but it's okay. Dwaine. Right after it was over, my first thought was JT and all the ways that he's messed up other than the season he won. And I actually came right to an analogy of what happened to him. And basically, it's like being held captive. And it's because I watched too much Game of Thrones, but being held captive by the enemy and your troops come up heavily armed, ready to shoot, and you have a plan. All they have to do is figure out your plan. Even if you send them notes, they just have to follow your plan and everything will be good. So JT walks up with the other tribe, and Sandra is out front, and their strongest soldier, Malcolm, is behind him. And JT's doing everything he can to point at Sandra. Take your shot. Take it at her right here. And he's watching them, and he's watching Sandra. He's watching them and watching Sandra. And suddenly Malcolm falls over behind him. And he's like, I'm never going to get out of here because you shot the wrong person. I'm like, what is poor JT? His heart is broken. It's like he's going back into the cell. He's got nothing. And they know now what he tried to do. And it's just, okay. Man, I hope they got good food at Ponderosa. That was my first thought, was poor JT. Oh.
So why didn't he tell Brad? Because he said, well, maybe we should wait till the end to talk about that whenever we get to tribal.
Okay.
Because that is an interesting question.
There's a lot of interesting questions from that, yes.
Yeah. I have three more. CBS made an excellent decision with this tribal council twist. Do you agree? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I think, and I'm going to use a word. I'm sorry. I'm just going to add to your initial thought because I know you got more for it. The end of this episode felt a little manufactured, and that word came from Andy Baker when we were talking this morning. And
you're not Andy Baker.
I'm not, but it's the word I was looking for. I understand, but it's the word I was looking for. I wish I was as smart as he was. He has better words than I do. But it was like, how many things can we throw on there to give the underdog a chance? And this was me talking about this last time. I still enjoyed it. It was extremely entertaining. And I just wonder at the end of this twist if Probst went, well, that's not who we thought would go. So, but go ahead and finish your initial thought.
Well, first of all, Andy, whom I like and enjoy hanging around and enjoy having him on the show, is a conspiracy theorist to the nth degree. Of course he thinks it's some scheme to
he didn't.
The weakest players. I mean, come on.
No. He didn't. We didn't agree that it was a scheme to get the weakest players. We just felt that there was too big of a hand involved. But overall, it is what it is. This is the season to throw all these things at these players. So this was the season to test it. And it was interesting. It was really good. Go ahead.
Well, me and Becky D in the chat room think that CBS made an excellent decision with this tribal council twist, even if Andy Baker doesn't like it. I don't know if he doesn't like it.
He didn't say he didn't like it, yeah.
But, I mean, come on. This is a great twist. And the guy on YouTube that predicted this twist, if you're spoiled, don't post anything like that again. If you're not, kudos to you. But if you are, I'm watching. Now the drawing rock twist makes a whole lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
It makes a whole lot more sense to me now because they did that in preparation for this. They might even do this again later in the season. Because like Haley said, y'all, we're at a potential rock drawing situation. We cannot – there's a fly in here. We cannot –
I didn't know what you were trying to tell me. David, we're ending the podcast in 5 minutes.
Hello, there's a fly. It's a rock. Anyway, so – all right, I'll do my other one, and then you do yours. And then, did you have like one more?
2, but go ahead.
2 more. Well, then you do your next one then.
So, one tribe has 6, one tribe has 5.
Yes.
What does the 5 tribe need? What could they use to make this more? So, Ty, how has your idol hunting been going? Not very well. Well, you've got about 2 hours if you want to go look again. I'm being facetious, but wow, how fortunate was that not only did he find the clue, but the idol was not at a challenge the next day. It was right there near their camp. How awesome was that? Woohoo.
Okay, what I thought you were saying, which is why I laughed. So, Sunday, the twist was not overboard. Come on. Sorry, that's Sunday Burquest in the chat room. Going against me.
And with me.
David, slap. Anyway, I can't believe y'all are. We'll get there, but y'all got to stop talking about it, or I'm not going to be able to not talk about it. So we're going to get.
Why not talk about it? This was the season to put it out there. So I agree. I liked it. I liked the fact that the production went for it and tried something completely different. And this is the season to do that. Throw it at your experienced players, your savvy players, and this is the time to do it. I don't necessarily have to. It's better than the Medallion of Power. I'll give you that much. But it was just an odd situation. I don't know. I can't say I was a big fan of it. Yeah. It is what it is. But it was very entertaining. It was very entertaining.
Getting hit by a truck is better than the Medallion of Power. I mean, come on.
Pizzle the truck.
Like that one they like abandoned during the middle of the season.
During the season.
Hey. They like went by the camp and went, we need that Medallion of Power.
I was going to say they showed up at trap. No, you're not going to play it because we're just taking that out. Just throw it over there in the water. Get rid of it.
See, David Holdsworth. Good TV, bad twist for players. dude, it's a game. Whatever twist you give for players, it's a great twist for players to me because it made them think of tribal council in a way that Survivor has never made players think of tribal council before. It was, oh my goodness, this isn't just us. This is how are we going to interact with them? How are we going to get them off? And we can't talk to them before tribal. So how are we going to communicate with them during tribal council? Well, they figured that out, but still. So how are we going to, to me, it's a great twist. And okay.
And they had to hope that the right tribes got there. Because if it was Tavua and then Mana, then it would be a landslide against one or the other because that was the dominant tribes. We got the two tribes that were opposites. So it worked out pretty well.
All right, back to what I was saying.
What were you saying?
Was what I thought you were saying.
Yes.
Was that all the other tribe had to do was just ask Ty during tribal council how his idol hunting was going, and all would have been revealed.
Oh, we're good. We're good. Thank you.
I've heard there are idols. Brad, should I tell them? Brad, should I tell them?
No, Sandra looks at him. Ty, do y'all have an idol? The power of Sandra.
Oh, my gosh. What are you doing in here, son? David, take over for a minute. I have to do father stuff.
All right, so I'm going to talk about my last initial reaction,
Okay.
and you'll hear it while you're talking about father stuff. And I'll talk to the chat room, and that, the Medallion of Power was better than the Outcast. I agree with that. I wasn't a big fan of the Outcast because once you're out, just like Redemption Island. There shouldn't be a Redemption tribe either. But stop, Brad, do it. Yes, it was good. I agree. It was very entertaining TV. I don't know. I still think it was a how do we even the playing field type twist, and it's okay to try it. I like that they tried it, but I know Dwaine wants to move on, so I'm going to move on to my final initial reaction.
Oh, wait, you were still talking about tribal council?
I was talking to the chat room because he said, David said Medallion of Power is better than the Outcast, and I did agree with that. Outcast does. So my final...
The Medallions of Power is even better than those ugly cars they used to give away. And then you'd go home and you'd lose anyway if you got a car.
That's right. So my last initial reaction is, I don't like when all but two people sit out of a challenge. That felt shortchanged to me. I understood it, but I did not like it at all. Now, I don't mind sitting out a challenge, but I don't like when most of the tribes are sitting out a challenge. There were so many legs to that challenge, different people could have done them. Why not? That's when you got to put your best people in the best spots.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I knew you were going to not like that.
Thank you. You know me.
I really did. And when that challenge comes up, I wrote, so what do you think about only two, David? And then also all I'll have to do is go back and rewind and listen to this. And I'll know. All right. Brad finally knows what only a few people have known.
Uh-huh.
Including you, David.
What's that?
What it feels like to beat Troyzan in a challenge.
I did think about that. I did think just a little.
Okay. Now how crazy is this? Because during this episode, there were several times that I said to myself, I like JT. I'm liking JT.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tribal Council, I went, now I really like JT.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was smooth.
I did too. It didn't work in his favor, but I do. JT is a very likable person.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we get to Mana Night 9?
Let's do it.
9. 1 week and 2 days. Sierra and Brad are thanking and lifting up Ty so that he won't leave camp and go get Caleb back. Probst, I made a mistake.
If I find an idol, can I get Caleb back in the game?
Yeah. No, Ty's like, you told me there was a get Caleb back in the game card. All right.
There's something. But this is neat because this could be something somebody uses against Ty, and the fact that Ty is really flat out saying, I'm playing a different game. I'm not playing like I did last game. I'm playing completely different. And somebody could try, if they can manipulate that, they can use that against him,
right.
And bring that up. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that rolls because I like when people try to play different, and on purpose. I do like that. And he's trying to turn over a new leaf and play a different way, and I'm all for that. Brad's playing a different way. Sierra's playing much more aggressive, like she says. She says she didn't feel that way in Worlds Apart. She is this time. So I'm liking it. I like the way these people are playing. This is what I wanted to see out of these people.
But is he really playing a different game?
No, not at all.
1 second he'll go, I'm not playing with my heart. I'm playing with my
wallet,
my head.
Yeah.
And then the next moment he'll be like, I can't do that because I love them.
That's what he's taught, but that's what I want to see somebody manipulate him. You're right. Can he play differently?
I actually know how they got him to say that.
How?
Pretty much anything they want him to say, they just say it, and then he says it. I'm just playing.
Repeat after me.
I like watching Ty, but I'm not sure. To me, Ty is someone you can use in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, as we've said before, he's easily manipulated. I like Ty, y'all that want to write things like you don't like somebody. That's not true. But
yeah.
All right, and he also says, now you won't have any suspicions.
Right.
And I thought, no, they probably still have suspicions. So.
Yeah, Brad still got that you wanted to get rid of Debbie card versus Caleb.
Yeah.
That's always there.
So the next morning, we get this whole Debbie and Haley thing. And Debbie's just like playing her along.
Yeah.
And Haley seems to be kind of going for it. Did you get that sense?
I did, and I laughed when Debbie came back and told us the whole story.
Yes.
What's really going on.
Well, David, because it's Debbie's second time to play, that's why she tells Haley what she wants Haley to hear.
That's
because
right.
it's her second time to play, and so
she knows. That should be a game right there. And I'm not going to say what kind of game, but every time Debbie says, because I'm playing a second time,
really?
You should eat a donut. Yes.
Every time?
Since Sarah's on this season, and we're not doing the donut joke, so we're to say that every time Debbie says, because I played last season, or because this is my second season, you should eat a donut. So.
Oh, we did that one season. Remember
yes.
that?
We did it preseason for Kagayan.
Yeah. I had this big old thing of donuts, and you did too, and every time something happened, we ate a donut.
I think every time we said cop or something, or
those were the days. Those were the days.
Oh, that was a bad night. Afterwards.
I'm going to go get me some Krispy Kreme white powdered donut. No, Krollers. Can you tell I like Krollers?
Yeah, you need to get that drool out of your mouth there.
Yeah. So Brad, Debbie, Sierra, and Ty are all around the fire, and of course they say Haley is the next vote.
Easy boot. Yep.
Yeah. But you know what? Even the survivors that are playing that have played before tell us that what's said one day, can change in 10 minutes. I mean, they got nothing to do out there but talk.
Exactly, and it's like the camera guy could even say, "Hey, she's not here. Do y'all want to talk about next tribal council? Yeah, we can create a conversation about that. Sure.
Yeah.
So
we need y'all to say the next time we vote. Go ahead.
Fill in the blank. Yeah.
Now we need you to say we are going to vote. Okay, we're going to vote. Now say Haley is awesome. And they splice all that together.
Now we're going to take each of you away. I want you to talk about who you really want to vote.
Yeah. So the reward challenge, which we got to rather quickly, I think most people were surprised that Caleb was voted off.
Yeah, because this part of the game, you kind of want to stay strong for challenges.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
So
they were all probably thinking, "Why is Haley still there?"
Well, I think if they were guessing, they would have guessed Caleb or Haley because of their being in the minority in their group. They obviously weren't in the group, but Caleb, why not get rid of Haley and can stay strong? Wow, they really don't care. They're going after the other tribe, drawing the lines.
So here we have the only two people, which you've already said you don't like.
Right? Not a fan of.
Playing for coffee and cookies. Apparently, people like coffee. I can't stand coffee.
Me either.
So I would be like, really? I got to play for coffee or coffee?
Now, if you've gone 9 days, I guess it's 10 by this point, with no real... I would. Oh, absolutely. I would have something to have a different taste in my mouth. But if I ever go to Starbucks and get my chocolate chip, double chocolate frappuccino, and they say with caffeine, I'm like, well, yeah, that's why I'm getting it, because it's got caffeine. What they mean is with coffee. So I had to send that one back because I don't like the taste of coffee, so I had to send it back. But yeah, I would drink something different.
Coffee is like hot water with some yucky, chalky black coal taste in it that doesn't add any positive thing to the water.
All right. So when you go in, when you play Survivor and you've been in 9 days, I'll ask you if you would actually drink coffee at this point.
No, I would not. I would take the ice out of the iced coffee and put it in my mouth. But
I would drink it. I would drink or eat whatever they give me.
Yeah, I would eat the cookies for sure. So Nuku does JT carrying the ball, Malcolm throwing the sandbags. This is one of those times where I thought, I really like JT. I don't know why. Then Tabua, is it Tavua or Tabua?
I think it's Tavua.
Well, I'm just not going to say their name anymore because somebody will go, they don't even know the names of the tribes. Ozzy carries the ball and Troyzan throwing the sandbags. Poor Troyzan. And then Mana, or Mana, I knew if I didn't spell it with an H, I would say Mana.
Mm-hmm.
Ty carries the ball and Brad throws. Hello, Brad.
Yes. See,
what the heck?
This is cool because this kind of challenge I thought about when it was Karamoan. They did it where you go out in the water and you come back, you open up the chest and pull out all these bags and you throw them at the stack of, I don't know if it was milk bottles or crates, whatever it was, but Philip Shepard threw for them, and I think may have been Reynolds throwing for the fans. And they just pick it up and they look and they throw and they pick it up and they look and I'm like, dude, Snowball, Will Ferrell, Elf, rolling shotgun shooting at the things. You throw as quick and as fast as possible. That was the best. That was the best scene in Elf, by the way, the snowball fight where he just constantly throws them. But what?
Nothing. I'll read it to you in a second.
But that's what I'm thinking for these challenges. You throw as quick and as fast as possible. So what did you think, Dwaine?
Brad throwing sandbags is like Buddy throwing snowballs in Elf, and with the same accuracy.
Great analogy. That was good.
Yeah. Nice. That's what I get for letting you talk first.
Is that why you always talk first?
That's why I try to get my stuff out first.
David, you got anything else? Okay, we're going to move on.
I like it. You know, Ty's taking a long time. Brad's like, don't worry about it, Ty. I got this.
I love that.
He was right.
It's right, but it's good for Ty, too. Ty's like, he is going to do it. These guys are tight now, and I love Brad's confidence no matter what. That's a teammate no matter what. Come on, I can get it. I can catch up. And Troyzan, man, he ran out of gas. Ah, gosh, his last few throws, I don't even know if they got to the sticks.
Yeah. So Malcolm shows why he's going to stay in this. Oh, wait, no, he's gone. But Malcolm shows why he could have stayed in this game and done really well.
Yeah.
And poor Troyzan just like.
his first thought was, I'm glad this wasn't an immunity challenge.
Brad just kicks his butt. My
goodness. Man.
Anything else before we go to Tavua or Tabua?
Just calling Brad the elf now.
Yes. Brad the elf man.
Yep.
Buddy. You know what? If I was out there, I'd be like, hey, buddy, the whole rest of the time.
As you're sipping that little bit of iced coffee.
Yeah. Buddy Brad.
That's right.
And I'd be going, Brad. Brad. Brad.
Brad.
Remember whenever you first saw the movie, right, Elf? Mm-hmm. And he's laying in the bed and he starts calling his dad, and you're going, oh, I know what the next one's going to sound like. Boom. Oh, I know what the next one's going to sound like. Boom. I know what the next one's going to sound like. Boom. Isn't that crazy?
Dad.
Isn't that crazy, though?
Dad.
We all do it the same way.
Dad.
All right, day 10. Ozzy doesn't like losing, but this time he did.
Yeah.
Because he gets to show them why they need him more. And then we get the montage or the Ozzy moment of the season that Jeff put in the contract. The only reason why he would stay one more season for this was if they did an Ozzy. I have no idea. But they did do a pretty cool little Ozzy thing, right?
He's going to start a deep sea fishing, snorkeling company.
But I kind of wonder, he's out there alone a lot and everything. I guess there is time to do, you got nothing to do, right? While you're out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we often say you shouldn't be alone, but I bet there's times when everybody gets alone.
Oh yeah.
And why not get alone with the spear in your hand and kill some fish?
And you know how tiring it is when you go out in the water. Just doing some body surfing wears you out. So imagine how far he went and how deep he went to catch all that he caught. Right. And then you guys see how much he caught and brought in. You're like super excited. And Ozzy says, I'm going to go out and get some more.
Yeah.
My gosh, thank you. Please do.
He's like, I'm going to go out and get some more.
See you, kid.
He's like the Fonz.
That's right.
Yeah, you're talking about body surfing wearing you out. I don't even. No, my body's too big to body surf.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. So he is the rock of his tribe. Now, wouldn't it be ironic if a rock got him out later in the season?
That would be incredibly ironic.
So he catches fish and he meditates, and Andrea is enjoying getting the meal that she gets.
Absolutely.
And we're not getting a lot of Andrea this season yet.
Not yet. Not yet, but we didn't get a lot of people early on last season, so
yeah,
it moves along.
So let's move over to the Nuku tribe because, I mean, after all, it's time to talk about Nuku.
Mm-hmm.
They're enjoying their reward. Sandra, of course, is confident, and she says something that we ought to make a drinking game, drinking of water, because that's what I drink. I'm the queen here. Every time she says queen,
yes,
like if we knew she was going to do this, we would have made it part of our D&D Survivor Challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time she says queen, whoever, I don't know, but anyway, she says it a lot.
That's true. That would be tough to point though for us to get points for that. But she's playing this season so out in the open. It's who wants to mess with me? You know, once we get to the merge, I'm not going to win any challenges. Or you can vote me out then. But who's going to mess with me? And they just want to listen to me talk. And at the same time, I think part of Malcolm's deal was if I stay behind her, she is constantly going to be out front being the target. You know, why stick my neck out? And I like the way he was playing, but I think his reputation probably got him more than anything else. And obviously doing well in that challenge showed himself as well. But she is playing so far out there. It's like, why not get behind her? Ride that shield.
So why did she say, I'm running the show and no one knows it? Because, I mean, everybody knows it. Sandra, everybody knows it.
Well, we know it because the edit is showing us that. But I think she's including people in conversations. I think that goat vote was pretty poignant as to how she wants to run things and that everybody gets a vote. She might be holding the gavel, but at the same time, she's trying to include people. So I think people feel very comfortable talking to her and she's bringing people in to vote. But then you got people like Varner that say there's a reason she won, and Michaela, there's a reason she's a villain. You know, so these are smarter people, but at the same time, maybe that's going to come back to haunt her in the sense that they finally take her out because she thinks she's running it. Maybe she gets too arrogant about it. I don't know. How could she get more? But
well, I just don't know why she doesn't think no one knows she's running the show when last episode, which I guess would have been 2 or 3 days ago, everybody wanted the goat to go free, but they all had to pander to her.
Yeah.
That should say something to her. But anyway, JT knows that she's dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you know, when I saw that in the preview last week, I thought, JT's going to go up against the queen.
My thought was we're going to get a lot of Sandra and JT moments to make us think it's those two, but I really thought Malcolm was going to say, you know what, I got to stick with the group and vote out JT. That's why I put points on JT, but that's what JT's got to do. He's got to bond, and that's JT's strength is bonding, his social game.
Right.
And he was in with Malcolm. I felt like they were pretty tight.
Right. And if his plan had worked, then Sandra's gone, and he and Malcolm are like this again.
Yeah,
right. And he
absolutely.
and Malcolm, you know, they're good. Unfortunately, well, we know what happened.
So, yeah. So, well, I don't want to get too far ahead, but who's going to follow who when Sandra's gone? They're probably going to follow Malcolm.
Well, she's not gone, so
I know exactly.
Well, yeah. You're
so
right.
it was a good plan.
And just 19 minutes into the episode, David, 19 minutes into the episode, we have our immunity challenge.
Yes.
So that means in the first 19 minutes, we had a little bit of camp life. We had nightlife, which we haven't had this season. We had a little bit of nightlife.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had day life. Then we had a reward challenge. Then we had a little more day life, and already immunity challenge in 19 minutes. This is the blindfolding, yelling, banging into objects crazy challenge. I hate this challenge. Well, no, I would hate to be in this challenge.
Really, I love this challenge.
No, I like it. I would hate to be in it.
Oh, I love the chaos of this challenge because I think I read in our Facebook feed that somebody said, why don't they do one group at a time? Why do they do this? I'm like, no, send them all out at once and make them run into everything. I wouldn't want to be a caller though, because I wouldn't want that responsibility, but I would be great at walking and just reaching out and stuff and hoping I don't kill myself on the way. But I love this challenge.
We've got some padding, so we hit something and it falls over.
That's right. It hits the padding first. But I loved at the end, because you know how I hate when one person plays skeet ball by themselves. I love that a different person had to do each ball. I really like that.
I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end.
You are getting way ahead. So before the challenge even starts, Jeff says, "Oh, by the way, the first and only the first tribe to finish wins immunity." Ironically, Malcolm says, "That's kind of a big by the way."
Yeah.
And then Jeff says, "Losers, both tribes go to tribal council."
Yep.
I wonder if they knew what the rest of that story was, if they would have thrown the challenge.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering why the Green Tribe wasn't losing, why Tavua wasn't just throwing it, but to get rid of Troy's.
They didn't know.
No, they didn't. That's what I'm saying. I was wondering if they had known what the rest of it was, would they have ganged up on who was left?
Yeah. Is it just me, or does Brad yell like Mike Tyson talks?
The louder
over there.
The louder and higher he gets, the higher he more sounds like Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Remember the first time you ever heard Mike Tyson talk? You went, "What?
Is the tape sped up or something?"
Yeah.
Is he saying that?
He's a chipmunk. All right. I better lock my doors.
Just don't say it to his face. Yeah.
All right. Time for the table maze, unless you got stuff to talk about.
No.
People bumping into stuff.
Nah.
All right. Except Debbie going, "We can't hear you."
Did you see David Wright?
I was a professional audiologist.
David Wright was still out there blindfolded walking through the maze.
Yeah.
Still going.
Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, so I'm not sure I would do this too well because, if I'm just holding my hands here, this one's shaking a little bit, and I think that would totally mess it up.
Especially if you had coffee. That's true. See, this is one of those. I love these challenges because it's the hand-eye coordination thing.
Yes.
And there's a game here that we have locally called Whirly Ball, where you play bumper cars, basketball, and hockey all at the same time. You're in a bumper car, but you got a scoop, and you're trying to shoot a big round plastic ball into a flat basketball goal. And it's really neat. But the hardest part of the whole game is that you don't have a steering wheel. You have a stick. And you have to figure out which way to go right, which way to go left, and at the same time you're going this way, but suddenly you go that way.
Yeah,
and
because it changes.
Yes, and it's awesome, and I love it. That's what I'm thinking about with this one. You're concentrating on your right hand, but your left hand's still going this way, and you can't figure out why the table's going. I love it. I love this, and I love that 3 people had to do it. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I remember not to do that. I was going to put that. I like they have the 3 places for the balls.
Yeah.
And I also like that they had to do 3. And how devastating was it for Varner? Oh, so close.
Oh, he was
I
crying.
would like to know how close he was whenever, were they really neck and neck? Or what?
If they were, then Andrea blew through that challenge. She did really well to get as far as she did.
That's kind of why I'm thinking maybe he lost it earlier than that.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they edited it so it would be more exciting.
You think he panicked? Did he panic?
No, I think he just messed up. Well, okay, at that exact moment, yeah, because it's kind of like sometimes whenever those people are parked in front of a store and they accidentally go and drive, and instead of putting on the brake, they put on the gas and destroy the store in their car.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like that panic moment and you don't do the right thing. I think what happened was the ball got there and he panicked at that exact moment and went the wrong way. That's kind of what I think happened. So
It might
yes, to answer your question.
It could have been that Probst guy in his ear saying how close Andrea was getting.
Yeah.
Throw a little more pressure on it.
Yeah. Jeff can't handle the ball. I'm doing just fine, Jeff.
Don't put that on me.
Saying that for later when you can't.
Don't put that on me.
Yeah. So, man, he drops the ball. Andrea wins immunity for her tribe, for Tavua, and Tavua leaves. I like that they waited till Tavua left.
Yeah.
To tell them, which they usually do. But Jeff reveals the rest of the story. I'll see you guys at Tribal Council tonight as one group where you will vote out one person. And shock went all around the beach.
Perfect way to reveal it, like you said, with the other one gone, because now we're going to get really good conversation back at camp.
Yeah.
They don't leave them guessing. They flat out tell them what they're going to have to do. Yeah. But before that happened, I just want to say that as bad as Trorzan felt during the first challenge when he lost, how do you think he felt during this entire challenge, waiting for his tribe to hopefully win so that he doesn't have to go to the immunity or tribal council?
Please win,
He's stuck on the sidelines.
That's right. So Varner's look was kind of like, I mean, I don't really know how to describe it. Except for the first time I ever had a certain procedure and I was totally shocked by it. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's just kind of like,
What are you talking about? Oh.
It's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. And Varner was just sitting there going, really? About the tribes, about the tribal council.
I love how everybody heard that and just started looking around like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh, I love it. This is what I want from this season.
Oh, but you said you didn't like it, remember?
No. I want people that play this hard and think this much.
Don't even. What I love about it is right then, everything changes. Everything changes right then. Did I say that? Right then. Because they're all standing there going, okay, we're going to go. Who are we going to vote out? And then all of a sudden it's like, what? And Varner goes, and it's, well, this changes our afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I kind of agree. I think you're point on because you know what? At that point, everything changed. I think you got a good point.
I think it was at that moment.
Yeah. I couldn't agree.
The movie, it's a mad world.
Is that enough? I thought it was more than that.
Are there more? Mad world?
I think so.
6 of them?
Could be.
I think you're right. I love it when the car goes off the cliff at the very beginning. It's not a spoiler. It happens at the very beginning.
By the way,
you spoiled it.
It's in the first 30 seconds.
Before,
yeah.
That's 5 hours before the movie's over. You're all right.
Oh, yeah. You got a whole day worth of movie to watch.
I love it. And then there's that guy, right? And the first time you hear it, you're like, okay. And he goes, did you see the way the car just shot on out there? Well, the car just shot on out there. And then everybody that walks up and does something, he's like, did you see the way the car just shot on out there? He says it like 18 times. I love that.
That's a great movie. Good movie.
Yeah, it makes me want to watch it, except, it takes 4 days.
Exactly.
At some point, you're going, okay, I know this part.
Yeah, but then you want to go back
to
how
the
laugh.
gas station gets destroyed. Sorry, That's an hour into the movie.
Yeah. That's the first day, right?
Right. So Nuku, I'm sorry. One more rabbit. This is going to get us a negative iTunes review. I'm sorry. One more rabbit. I was watching an old movie, like made in the 40s or something the other day. And it's interesting, whenever they want people to run fast, they just speed up the film while they're walking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness. All right, so JT's like, we have the majority. Malcolm, me and JT wanted to get rid of, you got the whole JT and Malcolm thing, and then, of course, Sandra.
Yep.
If someone messes up, they are getting a beep beating when they get back here, which is probably going to happen now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he doesn't have Malcolm there to protect him.
Well, I mean, they all know that he betrayed them.
Exactly.
And JT's going to be mad at Brad for not getting with the plan.
So he's going to try and convince them that he's all with them now because his other group cut him out, which Michaela's going to say, you're not with us until they cut you out? Nah. You can sit on the outside, too.
Do you think he'll try to act like he didn't do anything? Like maybe he said, we're all voting for, I don't know, say someone else, and they just figured it out somehow?
Well, he tried to. I think he's going to say, I didn't know they had an idol, which I don't think we ever heard them say we have an idol. They didn't tell him they had an idol.
No one asked Ty, so no one knew.
Right. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, what would you say if you're in JT's place?
If I thought I could get away with it, boy, it's a risky thing. Because it's like, if you can get away with it, then yeah. I told Brad this. I don't know how they got, I don't know how they figured Sierra out because I told them something else in case they had an idol,
Yeah.
I would try that, because Malcolm's gone, so he can't tell everybody that they were conspiring against Sandra.
Right.
So, it'd be worth a try. But then if it doesn't work, you're up a creek. Even worse than he is now.
Yeah.
So. All right. So a lot of talk about the idol, who to vote off, everything. It's interesting because, JT's talking about Brad will target Sandra. Anyway,
yeah. And Brad's talking about they'll target. Yeah.
Sandra. So it's almost like CBS was putting Sandra out there as an option.
Yeah.
It may be the only episode they can because she wins the whole thing.
It could be. You may have a good point.
Man, day 11. Debbie says, I think we need to convince them to take Sandra again.
Yeah. Yep. Reaffirming.
Yeah. And Brad, Haley's a wild card. And then she's right there. Haley's a wild card. Listen, Blue Eyes.
Look at me.
We got to stay strong.
Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah. Haley's not stupid. She knows why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And it's based on tribal council. It's almost like, she's like, Sandra, okay, I'll go vote. You may not like it, but it was almost like, I need y'all to convince me to be with y'all because I'd like to be with you. But right now, I'm not thinking that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to tribal. But yeah, there were some. It's hard to tell from the edit, but there were some good lines that kind of sealed the deal on a few ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, Sierra, our friend Sierra, wanted Malcolm to go, and that ended up winning out.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, so did Haley, because she was all about challenge threats at this point, which I didn't quite understand at this point in the game, but she's all about challenge threats. To me, you go after the general to put the army in disarray. It's obvious if Sandra's on that tribe, she's running it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Gosh, Malcolm has won no seasons. Sandra has won 2.
Mm-hmm.
Why not get rid of Sandra? I understand Malcolm is a challenge beast, but he's also lost the game. So.
We'll talk about it.
Ty is worried, so he goes to look for an idol. And he finds a clue. Mm-hmm. And he decides to follow the clue and dig a hole.
Yep.
This reminded me of the season when they had the clues on the beach and the idols were buried on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And a couple of people did the wrong steps. They didn't do enough steps or they went the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
And they dug a, 8 foot by 4 foot hole
grave,
and still didn't realize the idol wasn't there.
Yes.
And someone walks up on them and then they're like, oh, we thought this would be a cool place to lay down, Yeah.
So you didn't find the idol? No, so we just thought it'd be a cool place to lay down.
Yeah. If I was production, I'd be sitting there going, seriously, y'all, you've been digging for 3 hours. There's no idol there. But we've got to stay here to make it look like there might be.
So I'm not putting on a tinfoil hat or anything.
Oh, yes, you are. You've been talking to Andy this morning.
How convenient was it that the tribe that was down in number suddenly has an idol available to them on the beach when we were told idols were going to be in challenges? You're telling me that suddenly they decided to put one on the beach? Did you see the note? It said, find these trees, look for the camera tripod that's already there, and then draw a line from the trees and dig straight down. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. Just awfully coincidental that an idol became available that afternoon, because Ty even said, I did some digging this afternoon. And I found an idol.
So Ty's now a young lady from Nebraska?
How does he sound? I know. That's why I don't do impressions. You do all the bad impressions.
Ty at all because someone will call me some horrible name. So I don't even try.
Let me have a high pitch voice. I can't even hear his voice right now.
Don't even try.
Okay, so Ty said, I did some digging earlier today and found an idol. After I told the tribe.
How many idols have been found? Is it just Troyzan and him?
Just Troyzan. And Ty's. Now Ty's.
And you're saying they've already said idols are going to be in the challenges. No, they didn't. They did one in the challenge. Now they're doing one a different way. The next one may be a different way.
I can buy that. I'm just saying there's an awful lot of outside interference coming in when you start adding things to the run. Because
You're assuming that, David.
I am assuming that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying it just seems like there's a lot of that. We added a twist. We're throwing this in there to throw off 2 tribes, see what happens. Now we're throwing in an idol to even the playing field. Next, we're going to tell you can't vote for the person beside you. You can only vote for the person not in your row. So that's the limitation on the vote. I mean, how many more twists are we going to throw on top of this?
I am going to quote Red Hot Hoodies.
Okay.
No, Red Hot Noodles. They said preseason that idols would be hidden in all different ways, idiot. Oh, wait, no, they didn't say idiot.
So do you think that's the first time Ty ever touched that tree?
But that's not the point, David. Why are you taking the show of Survivor and doubting everything? It's because you talked to Andy this morning. This was his.
No, it's not.
He said this, didn't he?
No, this was me after the episode last night. I'm like, Dwaine is really digging this tribal council, but I felt like it just had a lot of different outside parts to it. I don't know.
You know what? You act like you're jaded. You've got to just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the episode.
I did.
You know?
I did like the episode.
You're over-critiquing it. You're overthinking it. What the heck are you doing?
I was drinking my water.
All right, so David and I obviously disagree on this, but I'm right.
Disagree is a hard, tough word.
All right. Okay. All right. But sometimes I do think things like that may happen, but I don't think so in this case.
I can concur with Red Hot Noodles that they did say they'd be in different places. It just seemed awfully coincidental that suddenly Ty went looking right before Tribal, found an idol, and it caused a big brouhaha at the Tribal.
All right. Let us remember, therefore, that there have been many times when CBS edited the show in a way that makes us think this happened right before Tribal Council.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Tony Vlachos pointed that out. Yeah. He did.
Right.
Yeah.
So Ty could have found that clue and idol 2 days ago, and they're just now showing it to us.
No,
a day ago.
Ty said at Tribal, I did some digging earlier today.
Okay, well, he could have done it like right after they got back. My point is that whole, they had 7-8 hours? It wasn't like we're talking, he goes and looks, he finds it, we go to the Tribal Council. It's not like that at all.
Don't want to keep this guy around. Do you see how he gets rattled and panicked? We need to vote him out. Okay. See, I'm just trying to get you worked
on my side. I love how they all have little buffs on. Yeah, I'm sad we didn't get buffs this year.
Told Davis he could wear one. He says, "Whose am I getting? Who do you want?" He goes, "Jason's." I said, "All right, you can wear Kyle Jason's."
And I really like those green buffs they have this year.
Yeah.
But I have that one, so that's good.
Yeah.
I have Ikabula.
So does the minion.
Oh well. Anyway, let's see, where are we at? Oh yeah. Okay, so he found the idol back at camp. Sierra's like, "I'm scared. I'll tell you that much." So, and then Ty plays a little game of show me mine, I'll show you yours, or whatever, how that works. Show me yours, I'll show you mine. And he shows his idol.
Was that a good idea? Was that a good play for him? Well, I mean, how many people go to their whole tribe and say, I have an idol?
Okay. If he doesn't show the idol, then he doesn't know what to do with it.
There you go.
Which was so obvious at Tribal Council, right? So he's sitting there with this idol and he's going, I'm glad I have the idol, but I have no idea what to do with it. So I'll just tell the entire tribe I have it, and then they'll tell me how to play it. So yeah, you had to tell people.
Okay, you must have just read my note because that was perfectly said to compliment what I was asking.
That's what you get for doing my note earlier.
I wrote, Ty goes to the tribe and says, I found this idol and I want to... with it. What with it? Fill in the blank, please.
It's like during Tribal Council. So, who wants the idol?
Yeah, I'm giving it
Somebody tell me.
Her. Okay. Here, pretty lady.
Brad's like,
man, that's... can't wait to talk about that.
Which is kind of fun to watch Ty because he is so unpredictably predictable. No, so predictably unpredictable.
Yes. Good answer. Good comment.
Sometimes, and I'm not making fun of dyslexia because I honestly think sometimes I have dyslexia. Every time I spell because, I go P-E-B-P. See what I mean?
That's a problem other than dyslexia.
I go Becasue. Every time. Every time. And then just then, I said, I said, whatever I said, it was backwards.
Unpredictably predictable.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be predictably unpredictable. Oh, Oh, I almost said a joke I probably shouldn't tell because some people would get offended. It wasn't a dirty joke, but, people get really sensitive when you talk about people's stuff. Like I'm fat. People get sensitive when you tell fat jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm fat and I don't get offended. So
we can tell fat jokes.
No, we really can't.
To each other.
Unless you're the fattest person in the world, you are not allowed to tell fat jokes.
Okay.
In our society.
Can we tell big bone jokes?
I can tell big bone jokes. You can tell bald jokes.
Not yet. Almost. Not yet.
All right. We digress, and we got a ton of feedback tonight, so we got to get to it. 42 minutes, David. 42 minutes into the show. Really 39 before the commercials.
I paused
Tribal Council.
I paused it because this was the first time I can ever remember, and somebody can correct me, this is the first time ever that I remember seeing a commercial between the walkout and the walk into Tribal. It usually goes right to it, which is what I love. But I paused it because I wanted to get a drink for this last segment, which was 22 minutes of clock on my DVR. 22 minutes of Tribal Council. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they went to a commercial before the vote or
before Tribal?
After the
As they walked down the beach with their torches.
That's right.
They went to commercial, then they came back and they walked into Tribal.
Yeah. Yeah. So really, David, of course, you know how I do the show. I watch it just for pure enjoyment, sitting there by my wife. I'm in the recliner. She's on the couch. When you're married 26 years, that's sitting by your wife.
Yes.
I was sitting by my wife. Unless you're David, and he rubs his wife's feet, which is pretty awesome.
Yes, but not during Survivor.
My wife will not rub my feet. She won't have anything to do with my feet. But anyway, I just so badly the second time just wanted to sit back and watch it.
I don't want my wife to rub my feet either.
No, I do want my wife to
I'll rub
feet.
Terry's, but I don't want her rubbing mine. Go ahead.
Why?
Because my feet are not as delicate as hers. I'll rub her feet.
That is...
My feet are big and ugly.
Because you don't want her to have shredded hands.
I've seen Connie's face when you said, "Would you please rub my feet?" And that's she's scared. So go ahead.
Yeah. That reminds me today. Oh, this is horrible. I'm sorry, but today I went to the restroom, right? And normally this restroom has really nice toilet paper, so I went to this restroom.
We choose our restrooms by the toilet paper.
So, I'm done playing Clash Royale. I played about 3 games, Clash Royale. And I get done, and apparently sandpaper is better than toilet paper. So I told the person in charge, I don't appreciate grade 50 sandpaper being in the bathroom. All right. So Sandra, Jeff, all our guns are pointed at them. Now, see, one thing I like about Sandra is she's very confident, right? Yep. There's no maybe nothing. We're good, Jeff. All our guns are pointed at them.
Yep.
We're good, confidently. So, and then Debbie does the whole JT is close to us, trying to cause some stuff to go on. Anyway, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you think? Because I got a lot of stuff written down, but you'll probably say all of it. So
I do too, but my notes are being brought to me because I left them in the car and we switched cars.
One thing I noticed, even before Sandra said, "Oh, I'm not worried. I know I'm not going home tonight. How about that?" There was already a lot of subliminal stuff going on.
Yeah.
Right? Because no one has ever, that I can recall, stood up and gone and talked to somebody during tribal council. Because I'm pretty sure most everybody figured that wasn't allowed. Right?
Right. Oh,
they
yeah.
sit you there. You're sitting there. You can whisper to each other. And we've even had people like, hey, go tell her this. But never until Debbie stood up has anybody ever just stood up in tribal council and went to somebody else, as far as I know. I'm not, I don't know everything about the history of Survivor. But I'm pretty sure about that. So.
Well, this is what I think they were hoping for. One of Probst's favorite moments last year was telling so-and-so that as we're talking, they're having 2 conversations over there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what do you think about this? And my thought is, can you not talk to me when people are talking? Because I'd rather listen to what they're talking about. I'd rather be in that conversation than have to answer your question. Could you ask somebody else a question? Ask Aubrey a question. She thinks she's at the wrong wedding. Let me be a part of this question over here.
It's like, yes, Jeff, I do notice that, which is why I'm trying to listen.
Yeah.
So how about Brad basically saying, well, Haley, if Haley doesn't vote with us and she's target number one, Haley's like, that's not the way to, attract me. Giving Brad some dating advice. And then Haley does something very smart. Warns about the rock draw. Mm-hmm. So, anyway.
It was interesting. Haley was interesting in this because she was the one I really couldn't read. I have to admit. I love that she's talking more and getting more involved this season. But I really wanted to, I kind of knew where JT was, or at least I thought I did. But Haley's the one that we haven't seen enough tribe time, and we haven't seen enough confessional time of her where she tells us the truth, which I guess is good editing on their part, because that's what made this tribal council more suspenseful. And that, where's Haley going to go? The votes were lined up. We're good. We're solid. Stick to the plan, this, that, and the other. But yeah, once JT got up and made the long walk around to Brad, Probst is like, keep rolling. Keep rolling. This is what we want. This is what we expect. And these are seasoned players, which makes me wonder how far he would have let new players go. It depends on the players and situation, but I think this is what they wanted. This is why they put this twist together, and it, entertainment-wise, worked out beautifully.
This is the second time that JT has done something unprecedented in Survivor. Because really, Debbie just kind of stood up and
turned around,
leaned over behind her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So JT plays, he writes a note for the other team, never done before. Crazy, right? How are you even going to get it to him? And then this time, he's like, Malcolm, you think I should go tell Brad? And Malcolm's like, are you kidding? We're not allowed to do that. And JT goes, oh, yeah? And goes over and talks to Brad. And then everybody starts getting up.
And
I love that JT tells Brad they are voting off Sierra.
Yeah.
Right.
And they are. And if the microphone picks up, do you think I should go tell Brad? Don't you think the front row picked up? Do you think I should go tell Brad?
No, because they're wearing lapels and they turn it up. And
still,
honestly, David,
if I'm on the front row, I'm leaning back listening to everything that's being said, especially from JT.
I know, but I guess what I'm saying is in post-production, they can take the softest thing and they can clean it up and make it loud so that we can hear what they were saying. So they all have their mics on. All that's good. So I'm wondering why, whenever JT says to Brad, they're going to vote off Sierra. Apparently, I don't like Sierra. Whenever they say they're going to vote off Sierra, why he didn't? And I think he said go with the plan or something like that. Why didn't he say y'all vote off Sandra? Why didn't he tell him to do that?
I thought he did. I thought that's what he said. Y'all vote for Sandra.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, we'll go after Sandra. Notes? I know. I took the best notes, and I'm waiting for them to be delivered to me. Davis is supposed to be bringing them to me.
Who's supposed to be delivering them?
Davis, hang on one second. Hold on.
Yeah, just go get them. I'll play Spy Shack or something.
Spy Shack Tony! Spy Shack, that's where Tony's at. Spy Shack, that's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking...
Now let's listen to Survivor theme. All right. Well, that was enough of that. David is going to get his notes on the final tribal while I sit here and do nothing. Although I will say my wife did a great job on the board tonight. She always does a good job. It's hard to read. I have to ask her about that. But anyway. So what I was going to say was JT talks to Brad. They're voting off Sierra. And this is when my wife said, so all of you that are watching, my wife that wrote all that said, this is why I love the show. This is what makes Survivor a great show. And Connie was like, it's like back in the earlier episodes, in the earlier seasons, when everything was new and was fresh, and you always had these surprises come up, things that had never happened before. And that's exciting that 34 seasons in, we still get surprises, things that boost the show even more and make you want to watch some more. So I hope this translates into good ratings, although they didn't know it was going to happen before. But if the word gets out, there's always those people that used to watch it, and they used to talk to you about it at the water cooler, and now they don't. But if you go back to that water cooler and you go, dude, I'm telling you, you've got to start watching Survivor again. It is really good. Then those numbers start to increase. So if they are anything like my wife, they should watch it. All right, David, you have better notes than me on the Final Tribal Council. You run it, and I will put my 2, maybe 4 cents in every once in a while.
I feel like what I just did was a challenge, so I got to catch my breath. Let's see. It's crazy.
It was in the other room.
It was
just warm out.
On the other side of a couch, behind a chair, up the stairs.
It's like I had to sit up. Oh.
Let's see.
All right, so David, we were at JT going to Brad. So did he say? He said they are voting off Sierra. Did he say to vote off Sandra?
All right, so I highlighted all those things. Let me go through those parts. So Haley says, I think this is a stupid time in the game to be thinking about anything other than physical threats. This is where I am. You can ask me where I am. This is where Sandra pulls in JT and says, Haley wants Brad gone. And Brad, as the Manu huddles and stuff, Mana, see, I said it wrong. And Probe says audible, and Brad's like, what happened to the plan? Stick to the plan. And then more chats while Aubrey's talking. Everyone is still talking, and then Debbie gets up and speaks to Brad. You already said that. All right, so we're moving on. More people are talking. Sierra said, I think it's me. Brad said, no, it's not, so he thinks it's him. Ty says, stick to the plan. All kinds of little things going on here. Sierra gets the deer in the headlights question. JT to Malcolm, should I talk to Brad? Like you said, JT gets up and goes to Brad. I love you, brother, but they're voting Sierra out. Brad says, thank you. Then I love Haley's comment. Well, if that's how it's going to be, I'm going to get up and go over there and talk to people too. So she goes right over to Sandra.
Did she say that? She said that?
Yeah, she said if that's how if that's how we're going to do this, she gets up. And I love that.
Awesome.
I love go to your home team. And she goes right to Mama Bear. She goes right to the queen, and Sandra pulls her right in. And she said, and Haley says, vote out Brad. It's better for us, I promise. And that's when JT goes back to Brad. And Brad says,
wait.
Yes.
Haley said what?
Haley said to Sandra, vote out Brad. It's better for us, I promise. This is Haley trying to get them to change their vote. I don't know if she heard the Sierra part. I don't think she did, but she wants to get them to vote out Brad because she knows Brad's running the show. Was this truth, or was this a red herring? Yeah. Was Haley playing them? So this is what we don't know, which is is good, where we didn't get a lot of editing beforehand to tell her where she's standing. She and Sierra could now be super tight. They could be super tight with everything, or her and Debbie. But we didn't get much from Haley in confessionals. So she's laying the groundwork to vote out Brad. It's better for us. JT goes back to Brad. Brad says, you swear? And T says, I swear. And it's funny because all this is going on in the front row. All this is going in the back row. And Malcolm looks at Sierra and goes, how you doing? How you feeling? And she says, I'm scared. And Malcolm says, I'm about to wet myself. Yeah. So it's so funny. But this is what I'm saying. You want to be in those conversations. You don't want to be the one they're walking around.
Right. Malcolm's sitting there thinking, well, crud, this is going to be cooler than when I played 3 Idols. Dadgummit.
Yeah. I wish I had my 3 Idols again. Yeah. So let's see. So then Haley says to Manu, I'll go Brad with you. She's still telling Sandra in her court, I'll go Brad with you. And Brad to his tribe, JT says they're voting out Sierra. Sandra explains that Haley wants Brad to go because he has no idol and he's a physical threat.
Haley said that to Sandra?
Sandra said that to her group. That Haley wants to vote Brad out because he has no idol and he's a physical threat.
That's right.
And then Debbie says to Brad, whose name do you want me to write now? And Malcolm looks at his group and says, are we staying? And JT says, I just told Brad it wasn't him. So why did he tell that group that?
Who did he say that to?
He said it to the Mana tribe. He said it back at his seat. Was he saying it to Malcolm or was he saying it to the tribe? See, I didn't get to watch it. I watched the second time this morning.
It wasn't him. Oh, he was trying to tell Malcolm, I just told Brad it wasn't him so that Malcolm would know that they were going to give Sierra the idol because they were all going to vote for Sierra, and then they would all vote for Sandra and get her out. So that's why he was telling Malcolm.
At this point, that's exactly what I was thinking. I just told Brad it wasn't him, so they'll play their idol. So I don't know if he was trying to get the tribe to go along with Haley or trying to tell Brad that they're going to cover themselves. Let's vote Sandra, and they'll vote Sandra, and we'll get Sandra out. So I think that's where he was going with the Sandra vote, which didn't turn out later. And then we get Haley. Yes, go ahead.
Well, you told me JT said to Brad, vote for Sandra, but you haven't said that yet.
No, I haven't said that yet.
Okay.
I could have sworn he told her that, but maybe he didn't.
Well, that's why I was wondering. Why didn't he?
Yeah.
Why not tell him?
I could have sworn he told her that. That's what they were going to do, because I thought he was telling him. I thought he told Brad to vote Sandra, to go after Sandra, and then I thought he and Malcolm were going to do the same thing and reveal their hands. But they obviously didn't. And then Haley tells Sierra, back on that end of the room, I tried to change everything. I tried to mix them up. I tried to get them off of you. And then that's when Sandra says to Michaela, because Michaela brings up a good point. She asked Sandra, why? Oh, this is good.
That's later.
No, this is around this part. JT says, I just told Brad it wasn't him. Haley tells Sierra and see, they're back in their seats now. Haley tells Sierra, I tried to change everything. Well, they're standing by their seats. So, and that's when, I tried to change everything. And then Sandra confirms we're sticking to the original plan.
Yes,
we're locked in. Yes. Thank you.
We're good. Nothing has changed.
Right. And that's when Haley thought, I wonder, see, we are always told that decisions are made before tribal. I really think things changed at tribal. Obviously, because they didn't know they were going for Sierra until at tribal. And I just wonder if Haley heard that and said, okay, you're not going to listen to me. I'm going to vote with this group.
Well, no, because if Sandra says we're good and nothing has changed, then they were going to vote for Sierra the whole time.
Correct. And Haley wanted them to vote Brad.
Right. So Haley's upset about that.
Correct. So she's saying, I'm going to go with this group then.
Right. Well, she hadn't said that yet. Probst says it's time to vote. And they're all like, yeah, let's do it. And Haley's like, I didn't consent.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is where I'm thinking, Haley's going, y'all, we need to talk because I'm willing to help y'all.
Yes.
So I don't like the fact that you're saying everything's the way it is.
Right, original plan.
I think we should talk some more. And Sandra's like, let's see, what does Sandra say? Sandra and the others tell her to go vote, okay. And then she says, okay, you might regret it. And I just was like, Haley's like, fine. If you're not going to let me help you. And I love this. She gets up before Probst, and Probst goes, oh, okay, everybody go to vote.
Yeah, that was funny. It's like it went off script. I loved earlier when Haley was trying to talk to the other group, and they said something, and Sierra said, well, I guess they don't need you, Haley, but we need you. And Debbie says, we need you. And then Michaela says, well, you see where they put you, right on the outside of their group. And I'm like, no, that's where production put her. Because they tell them where to sit, which was great because they put Haley at the far end from her tribe and JT at the far end from his old tribe. So they couldn't sit right beside each other. They forced them to have to get up if they were going to talk. And that was really good. Yeah. And then when Haley finally does go to vote, that's when, like I was saying, Michaela looks at Sandra and says, why didn't Haley just tell us where the idol was? No. And Sandra says, basically, Haley doesn't know.
No. That's not what she said. I wrote it down word for word. So can I say it?
Well, I was paraphrasing what she said, but please give me the exact words. No, go ahead.
Paraphrasing is good. It's the new David translation.
If you wrote the exact words, go ahead and read them.
Oh, I wonder why she didn't just tell us who had the idol. And then Sandra, nobody got no idol over there. Girl, please.
I wrote that too. I was just paraphrasing. But yeah, that answers the question that Haley doesn't know. She obviously wasn't there when Ty showed the group. And they were pretty set. Why change our vote? Let's just stick to the plan and vote the way we said, even though JT just went and ratted on him, told on him, and they went to the plan.
And Sandra, I'm telling you, Sandra was primed to go home. She is so lucky. So lucky.
This is what makes the other twist, the rock draw twist now, so intense, in that they put all of their votes on one person. They didn't have the numbers to split the votes anyway, but they threw all their eggs into one basket, and then that one basket gets handed an idol and plays the idol, and then goes and sits down. So all 6 of them are sitting there. Well, probably not JT, but the rest of them are sitting there going, who in the world did they vote for? Because we are all sitting ducks.
Yeah. I'm just waiting, and I know I'm kind of back on the Sandra thing, but if Sandra continues to go on and she keeps on saying, I'm the queen, it's really... If she wins, she can't really take credit for it all because she had nothing to do with her not getting voted off on that time. Now, I understand when you win Survivor, there is an element of luck involved. She just got a huge, like if she was a cat, she had all 8 lives taken in one shot. Mm-hmm. All right, anyway.
No, I agree. I also wonder, had she been swapped onto a tribe with like Culpepper? how would she be? Would she still be able to? Because she's working with people right now that are willing to work for her, work with her, make her think they're working for her, even though they're working around the same level. And Michaela is the one that probably would have stood up to her, but Michaela's playing new Michaela. And she's like saddled up to the queen saying, you know what? This is okay for right now. We're not in merge time. I'll saddle up to the queen as long as she keeps talking and making everybody mad. That's fine. Right. So she's in a good tribal situation where she can be the person she's acting like.
Yeah. So Ty, Probe says, if anybody has an idol, now's the time to play it. And Ty's just sitting there. And everybody goes, Ty, play the idol.
Do it.
Okay. Really? And he gets it out, and then he's like, now what do I do with it?
I did some digging today.
Yeah. So, David, I'm going to give it to who wants the idol?
Over there.
Sierra's like, me, please. Ty's like, you know how you have like gophers that go and do whatever you ask them to do type of thing, right? Or I know what he's like, the all-time quarterback, right? Whichever team he happens to be on, he plays for that team. So right now, he's on their team, so he plays for them. If he gets switched around, he'll be on another team, and he'll play for them. I know I'm going to get hate mail for this.
No, you're not. What's so neat about this tribal is that you see the strategists and you see the leaders, and the leaders are the one that don't give away information. JT went to Brad and said everything. Brad gave nothing to JT. Haley went to Sandra and tried to change everything. Sandra gave nothing to Haley. This is how leaders play in Survivor, whether they get picked on that or not. But this is strong. This is good strategy. You don't give away your information when you're talking to someone that could be affected by the other side.
Okay, so what you're saying is he used JT because he has burned that bridge.
Yes.
So you're saying he intentionally burned a bridge because now he knows that JT is dead in the water over there unless there's some kind of something going on that'll switch things up. Because he left JT high and dry.
He did. JT is now, even Brad said earlier that Haley spent a lot of time with our tribe now, and we feel like we've brought her in. Who's to say the same didn't happen on the other side with JT? Mr. Sociable, Mr. Friend with everybody. He's already tight with Malcolm. How much more would it take for him to be tight with somebody else, with like Farner, or Michaela? So you have to worry about your friend going to the other side because they can come back to you all day and say, I'm still tight. I'm still good. Meanwhile, they got people back there knowing that he's flipped. Because that's what Debbie said. Debbie had a good point. Is he going to flip? Is she going to flip? That's what we're looking at. So it was, Brad's got to look out for Brad and his people. And he protected his people.
Right. Okay.
Because if he'd have told JT they had an idol, it would have come out to the other group.
Right. Well, there you go. So Brad, he gives it to Sierra, and the other side's just like, oh, crud. Sandra's not as cocky now. Right? So Sierra, and I think that last one was Haley. And then Sandra goes, who did they go for? It was Malcolm.
Yep.
And Malcolm is devastated. And JT
gonna be sick.
Devastated.
Yep. Absolutely. Yes. Haley voted with Brad's group and JT voted with Sandra's group.
Yeah. And then Michaela goes, JT set us up. And they're right. Everybody's going to know that JT set him up.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they're also going to know that because he's so upset about Malcolm going home, that he was going for Sandra.
Yep.
So, all right. So as awesome as this tribal council was, at least for me, since you didn't like it, David, you and Sunday,
I did not say I didn't like it. It didn't blow me away.
Manipulative. I thought it was, what was it you said? Contrived or something, right?
Manufactured.
Convenient.
Manufactured.
Yeah, manufactured. It was convenient to give the lesser players a chance. Is that what you said?
And it worked.
So
except it took out the wrong person. It took out one of the most popular players
socialist.
ever.
Do what, David?
So the problem was it took out one of the most popular players in the game.
Oh, I know.
The camera guy's like, so who are we going to lead to the idols now? Ty?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. CBS is a socialist company because they want the better players to give to the not good players and everything be even in the game.
You said it, not me.
All right. A player in the season texted me today and said, if you thought that was crazy, it gets more intense. Brace yourself. How cool is that?
Nice.
I'm excited now, even more so. Next time on, Debbie is one crazy woman.
Yeah.
I mean, would that not scare you to see someone doing that? I'd be like, production.
I was a little nervous just watching it on TV.
Yeah. That was crazy. Crazy stuff. Of course, we don't know why she's upset. Man.
All right. Go ahead. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, not again. It's so hard when I'm by myself. Where's he going? All right. I'll talk to the chat room. Let's see. Oh, there's a conversation going on between David and Sunday about where they live. Well, that will be interesting for me to talk about. So let's see. Let's go up a little ways. Karen loves coffee.
Okay.
The team that won will be expecting 2 people gone. Let's see. The inevitable. Not a whole lot going on in the chat room, people. Doesn't help me a lot. David, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. I just had to grab my phone was buzzing over there. I had to grab my phone.
Oh. All right. It's time for listener feedback, my friends. And we have a pretty good number of them. It is called Episode Who Knows. Just kidding. Apparently when David did this, he didn't remember the episode title. So he said,
I heard it was going back and forth, so.
Oh, no. Who knows what number it is? Right. All right. Time for Will from Illinois, or as some people say, Illinois, which is not right. What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, I just finished watching the episode, and wow. I'm a little bit in shock still. As much as I've liked that what Brad Culpepper has been doing, I'm not sure I get the move to vote out Malcolm. Well, I do, and I don't. On the one hand, voting out Malcolm makes the opposing tribe much, much weaker in challenges, and if they think that JT turned on them, which they do, they'll likely vote him out next, making the blue tribe even weaker, and somehow possibly protecting Brad Culpepper and company from further tribal councils. But at the very same time, I thought Brad was close with JT. Why would he hang him out to dry like that? And on top of that, Brad obviously wasn't thinking about tribe strength last week when he voted out Caleb, so why is he worried about it now? I don't know. I'm honestly a bit confused. Just a little slash here. He did want Sandra, and I'm thinking Sierra had a lot to do with them changing over to Malcolm.
I think it also could have been an appeasement for Haley, so it's 2 people right there, Sierra's choice and Haley's choice.
Yeah. Or Sophie's choice.
That might have been a trade. Lose JT and keep Haley. Sophie's choice. Yeah, whatever. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I just remember it's there. All right. Maybe I'm confused because I enjoy watching Malcolm play so much. Maybe I'm confused because I wanted to see Sandra voted out there. Maybe it makes perfect sense. Malcolm was on the other tribe at the start, and he's on the other tribe now. He's a huge threat, and they had the chance to take him out, so they did. Man, I wish both tribes had to vote someone out. If that had been the case, I think the episode would have been less interesting, but the rest of the season would be more interesting. As things stand, I think JT is on the outside, looking in on his tribe. Haley is on the outside, looking in on her tribe. And Troyzan is on the outside, looking in on his tribe. But Troy still has an idol, so it's bye-bye Andrea for the Greenies. Regardless, I'm not happy with how this season has gone so far. We've seen Sierra voted out, we've seen Tony voted out, and now we've seen Malcolm voted out. Sure, Caleb got the boot last week, but 3 out of the first 4 boots were major strategists. I don't like that this season is seemingly self-selecting an under-the-radar winner. Or maybe it really is Ozzy's time. He looked good again this week. In the very brief time that we saw him, he very amusingly pointed out that losing reward challenges was great for him since it made providing for the tribe more important. That's absolutely true. I don't think we're in the age of Survivor where anybody's going to be making their decisions based on that. But he was still right in his observation. The Cubs come back from a 3-1 deficit against the Indians. Wow, that was a change of topic. Mike in Cleveland deserves this one. Go Ozzy. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja. Thank you, Will. Oh, I see how that is, David. I get a long one. You get a short one. I get a long one. Nice.
I think I got a haiku. It's coming up next. Haiku, whatever it is. But he made me think more about, it's a good feedback to make me think more about the point. I like Brad's choice because Brad and Ty versus Malcolm, JT, and Varner in another challenge looks good for Malcolm, JT, and Varner. But Brad and Ty against Varner and JT means if with plus Ozzy's group in there, if JT and Varner lose, JT goes home. No big loss. We're not quite at merge time yet. If Varner goes home, he goes home. Sandra goes home, she goes home. But with Malcolm, that increases Brad's chance of having to go back to tribal. So I still think it's a good move for now.
All right.
All right.
Next
so we
one.
got Paul Somerville. You think he's from Somerville?
No.
Okay. Is Ty the biggest game changer of all time?
By the way, everybody that tries to write Ty, their stupid spell check.
Yeah.
I mean, I had one guy wrote T-Y. Another guy wrote T, like his spell check took him to T-I-E.
Mm-hmm.
And then, T-Y-E. I find that interesting.
We talked about this today, and I think I wrote it 5 different times when we were talking about it.
I know.
I did a voice
That's
voice
what I'm
spell.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all do it.
Well, is he the biggest game changer of all time? I don't think so,
No.
but completely changed the future for 2 tribes in one move. That did happen, yes.
Whoa. Is he talking about the Idol play tonight? Where he gave it to Sierra and then she played it?
Well, he had to find it first. So by finding it, it did change the game.
No, playing it changed the game. If you find it and don't do anything with it, that doesn't change the game. The game changes when you do something with it. And he didn't do it. Brad did it.
So Ty was the vessel for the game to be changed via Brad and Sierra.
Through Brad.
Through Brad,
Brad's
yes.
the game changer, not Ty.
Right. Completely screwed the plans for 11 top players.
Again, Brad.
Will the final winner be the last one to talk to Ty? Entirely
Maybe.
possible. And if so, will the chickens pay the price?
If they're not around Ty, they will.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Good job, Paul. I love that. Give us something to debate about. I love it. David Holdsworth from New Jersey. Happy spring from New Jersey. 3 words summarize this week's episode. Oh, the humanity! At the most fundamental level, to do well on Survivor, one needs to embrace seemingly opposing behaviors. On one hand, you need to build relationships and show empathy to the other players in order to build your support network and alliance, while at the same time being cold and calculating enough to eliminate those same alliance members when it's best for your game. This is not an easy balance to strike. That's what we're saying. Brad did that, apparently, right?
Because if JT and Varner lose, JT's probably getting voted out. He's not going to be on the jury. It's not going to affect Brad.
Right. As a viewer tonight, more so than in any episode I can remember, the strategy of the game butted heads with my wish to see certain contestants remain in the game. Getting rid of Malcolm was the correct move for the other tribe at the Joint Tribal Council. It weakened the other tribe for challenges and took out a threat to win the game.
Yep.
But as a viewer, it hurt to watch.
Yes.
Malcolm's crushing disappointment at having to leave the game he so obviously loves was painful. Yeah, he cried on the way out. Tears fell down his face. My wife actually turned to me and said, well, I might not watch this season anymore. To which I said, really? What about me? I'm right here. No, he didn't say it. A few other comments and questions. Many players have found immunity idols before without clues. So going back to last week's episode when Troy Zan found the hidden idol in the table during the challenge, do you think the other 2 tribes' puzzle tables also had idols as well, or was there only one in Troy Zan's tribe's table since he found the clue? We know the answer to that, David. Would you like to tell him?
Only when a clue is found is an idol put in place for that clue. Or
That's
else
correct.
They might have shown us the other ones, but no, just
That's
the one idol was out there.
That's right. David gets the prize for remember that being told to us. So glad we could answer your question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that have been awesome if he somehow, in his celebrating, did a couple laps around the playing area and sniped all 3 idols? Yes, it would have been absolutely amazing. Wow.
He stops and falls on the table at all 3 places. Oh, I can't believe we won. Pocket. Oh my gosh, I still can't believe we won. Pocket.
I'm exhausted.
He goes to every table. You guys did great. Oh gosh, I'm tired. And you guys did great too. Oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
That's good.
Troyzan, why is there a cameraman following you? Troyzan, why is there a cameraman following you? Oh, that was it. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry about that. I was laughing so hard, I forgot where I was. I was not a fan of the only 2 players will participate in the reward challenge twist. Come on, producers. If you're going to do something like that, at least have the other tribes select who participates. Yes! That would have been good.
Oh, that would have been great. Here's what else they could have done. They could have gotten those giant marshmallows and had them throw them at the other tribes when they're trying to walk across that board with the ball on a stick.
Okay. Giant marshmallows.
Just giant pillows just to knock them off the board. Isn't there? What's that game? What's that game that does that?
That's exactly what I'm thinking of, where those 2 hosts are like so ridiculous.
Yes, that's hilarious.
They got this blue screen behind, this green screen behind them with, it's just like everything they do is in the studio.
And they have to run and jump on the giant ball and land on the ball.
Those guys are like, I'm Darth Vader for real. Yeah.
No, you're not.
He's
right here.
Bottom of the barrel to get those guys. Ozzy is a force of nature. One of these episodes, I think we're going to see a shot of him on the beach after fishing, standing next to his huge dark thing and saying, well, I just happened to find a 2,000-pound whale shark and wrestled it to shore. We should all eat well now. Farewell from New Jersey. Thank you. Thank you, David. Excellent feedback again. All right, feedback is good. Is my phone ringing or is your phone ringing?
It's not mine.
All right. Last week on the episode, David, I kept hearing click, 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 click. I think I was clicking a pen the entire episode.
I need to get you one of those little fidget things that you snap and push and twist and turn.
Does it make noise?
Probably. So no, that wouldn't be good.
No. All right, David, read the next one.
This is John Buckley. He says, hey, D&D. It's John from Youngstown, Ohio. Let me start off by saying that JT, although I think he's great, really screwed up here. He screwed up in a similar way to how he screwed up in Heroes vs. Villains. He was too trusting of someone that he had no reason to trust, and he made assumptions that were stupid to make. In Heroes vs. Villains, it was with Russell. Oh, you have a question?
Well, I mean, if it had worked out, I mean, there are times in the game you got to trust somebody.
Right.
Right? If you never trust anybody and take a chance, then nothing good happens. If it had worked, if he had taken that chance and Brad and them had voted off Sandra and he and Malcolm were now on together and things went differently, people would be saying that it was a great thing to do.
Right.
I understand what he's saying, but I'm just saying there has to be some times where you trust people. In this case, he's right. He made a stupid move. He trusted the wrong person.
So maybe JT's just a bad judge of character when it comes to trusting.
Maybe so.
Because he picked Russell.
Well, he's such he's an innocent farm boy. You know, I mean, he's like, I don't live in the big city. I don't know how all this conniving goes on. I'm going to trust people.
And stick to the plan. That's right.
Stick to the plan there. That's what I'm going to do right there.
Here, it was Brad. For some reason, I'm guessing because both JT and Brad were on original Nuku, JT got up in the middle of trouble and told Brad, I love you, brother, but they're voting Sierra out. Now, when I first heard that, this is just me, I was thinking, I love you, man, but they're going to take Sierra out, and I got to go with them because I'm in this group now for now. And I'm just thinking, oh, that's what he's letting her know, that Sierra's going to go. So it's not you, it's Sierra.
Right.
Okay. Why would he do this? This is John asking this. Why would JT tell him this? So later in Tribal, JT went to Brad again and said, vote Sandra out. Okay,
so
this is where I said. This is where I read it.
Thank you, John.
Yes. This is what I think happened in JT's mind. All right, here's John's explanation of what happened in JT's mind. He wanted Sandra gone, so he told Brad that they were voting for Sierra and later told him to vote for Sandra. He did this so they'd play the idol on Sierra and vote for Sandra, and boom, Sandra goes home. Now, we never got confirmation that JT heard there was an idol. I think we only presume that JT thought if there is one, play it on Sierra if you want to save her, and then vote for Sandra. Or what I was thinking was, and I'm adding to John's feedback, was JT was thinking, hey, there's going to be 4 votes for Sierra, but you guys vote for Sandra, and me and Malcolm will vote for Sandra. And that's enough to go the other way. That's what I was thinking was the original plan. So, the problem with this plan, back to John's feedback, the problem with this plan is that JT just assumed that Brad will be down for this. It was a stupid assumption to make, and I honestly hate JT for it.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Brad just took that. Some strong words there,
John. You trusted the wrong guy. I hate you.
All right. He continues. Brad just took that information and took all the strongest competitor and challengers out of the game for Nuku and Malcolm.
That's right.
JT got his best ally and asset in challenges voted out of the game by his own stupidity. Tell us what you really think, John.
I'm glad you didn't mix those words around. That would have been bad.
Yeah. I love Malcolm and am so PO'd at JT for this. I don't think I can forgive his incompetence this time. Tell us what you really think, John.
John, man, this is crazy.
Also, this feels like an editorial. Somebody reading a news editorial. Yeah. This is what they think about.
I hope I don't ever cut John off accidentally on the highway.
That's right.
Or John's gonna get me.
All right. Also,
I love it, John. I love it.
Also, I believe this is why Haley didn't consent to the vote. She knew what was going to happen because Brad conferred with all of Mana, and I'm assuming told them what JT had said. So Haley wanted to talk again to Nuku, but Sandra arrogantly said, we don't need to talk, we're ready to vote.
Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Sandra's arrogance almost lost her the game.
Yep, and thus Malcolm is gone. Thanks, JT. I don't like you.
Oh, that's the basis. It's all about Malcolm.
That's right.
John likes Malcolm, and so JT's evil.
Yes. I really don't want anyone from Mana to win this game, especially Ty or Sierra.
Or JT.
One final thought. That's right, because he's original Mana. One final thought. No, that's right. He's original.
Well, whatever. He just doesn't want
he's
JT
originally with Sierra and Ty, right?
JT needs to accidentally fall off a cliff, and John will send us a feedback that says, JT did a wonderful move this week.
Most successful move. One final thought. I love Sandra's confidence. I love that Mexican standoff reference. Although she should have gotten her troops in line, she should have told them all before going to tribal council not to utter a word to the other tribe. If they hadn't talked to Mana at all, now it was just JT that talked. So it wasn't the rest of them. It was just JT.
Well, I don't remember what the rest of them did.
Yeah, if they hadn't talked to Mana at all, Nuku would have had an 80% chance of sending someone from Mana home. All they had to do was to stay 6 strong and not give Mana a clue as to who they were voting for. It's definitely JT's fault, though. I still wish Sandra would have put her foot down and not allowed anyone from Nuku to talk to Mana. Well, that's JT talking to his old tribe. So
yeah, it's JT, man. Come on. Yeah. What do you expect?
So Michaela and Ozzy are my picks to win, mostly because I like them best. Thanks, D&D.
I thought that might be the reason.
Yeah.
Before I just give him a major amount of applause for giving us an incredibly enjoyable feedback, right? Because in case you don't know this, if you send us in feedback, we're going to talk about it. We're going to tell you if we agree or not. It's half the fun of feedback. Anyway, he said, although she should have gotten her troops in line, she should have told them all before going to tribal council not to utter a word to the other tribe. I see what he's saying, but I'm wondering if Sandra's thinking, I mean, they've never had people get up at tribal council and go to other people. So, I mean, is there really a reason to tell them that other than just say, look, y'all, we're not going to, if they try to whisper to you, don't let them whisper to you. That may be what he's saying, but.
Yeah, that's a good point because it's never happened before. But it's funny that Varner mentions, we covered everything. We talked about her having an idol, him having an idol. We covered everything. And I love what Sierra said. We are too. We're not just sitting here 5 short, and to 6 strong. We did the same thing. So, what did they talk about? So it's a good point.
All right, time for me to read. Faith, faith, faith. You gotta have faith, faith, faith. Hey, D&D. Loved the interview with Sunday last week. Her story is very touching. Thanks for having her on. As for this week, I loved it until they read the votes. Excuse me. Like I said on the Facebook group last night, everything I'm thinking isn't family friendly. I'm sad and angry that Malcolm is gone. Her and John ought to talk on the phone. I think Brad made a huge mistake. I was thinking get rid of a physical threat for after the merge, which is classic Survivor strategy. Oh, sorry. He was thinking, let me start over. I think Brad made a huge mistake. He was thinking get rid of a physical threat for after the merge, which is classic Survivor strategy. However, last night was a huge opportunity to get rid of Sandra. Now it is going to be even harder. I agree.
I disagree. Sandra's in the minority. Even if they merge right now, her tribe, her old mono tribe, is in the small numbers.
Yeah. Gracie says hi, by the way. She's in the chat room. Grayson, sorry. She says, hi, Dad. Mm-hmm. She's trying to pull the strings. That's right. I'm David's daughter. Treat me well in the chat room. All right. Am I still reading? Yes, I am. Brad could have teamed up with JT and Malcolm and ran the game to at least final 6-ish, but now it's going to be harder to get the numbers together to make it happen. You could see Haley is totally aligned to Sandra, and so are many others. They're trying to hide behind her. However, she's just going to use them to pick off the big dogs and then turn on them. If the others don't wise up, she's going to win, and I really, really don't want that to happen. I'm kind of mixed on that. I think it'd be cool if Sandra was able to... Yeah, Grayson, I know you're not. I was just kidding. If Sandra was able to win for a third time cleanly, I mean, by far, you'd have to call her the best Survivor player ever. She would absolutely be the queen of Survivor. Yeah. On the other hand, I'd like to see somebody beat her because she does think she's the queen. And it'd just be kind of, interesting.
That's going to be a big episode. I don't picture her winning this season, so I think they're building us up to a big showdown with her and somebody. And that could be our winner. So keep an eye on that. Whoever takes down Sandra. They're putting her up there as the person to beat. So,
well, okay, so far, Tony has gone against her, and Tony's gone. Mm-hmm. JT's gone against her, and it's backfired on Tony. It's backfired on JT.
Right?
Yep. The GOAT messed with her, and the GOAT barely got saved.
Exactly. By the baby.
That's right. All right, Faith continues. As much as I hated the outcome, this episode was amazing. It had me on the edge of my seat. Here's to hoping the season stays this good. Faith, go Zags. Gonzaga. What in the world is Gonzaga? Faith isn't in the chat room tonight. So
Gonzaga is a college in the NCAA tournament. They're in the Sweet 16.
I don't watch.
They were number one for a while. Sorry, Faith. I'll read yours from now on if you want. Yeah, what did you say? Gonzaga?
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was Gonzaga. Like Gonzo from the Muppets.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was going to tell you something else. What was I going to tell you? I don't remember. All right. Sin from Serbia. Wow.
This is funny because I didn't know that's where Sin came from.
I know. I didn't think so.
Hello, D&D. And I appreciate all the effort you invest in making it. Oh, sorry.
Hello, D&D, and I appreciate all the effort. I thought, surely he speaks better than that.
Hold on a second. I got to call first.
What? Oh, okay. Hello, D&D. I love the show, and I appreciate all the effort you invest in making it. English is not my first language, so sorry for typos to whoever has to edit this. But Dwaine is my favorite, so a little extra effort for David doesn't concern me a lot.
He didn't say that.
Boom! Yes, he did!
All right. That's why I coughed. I wanted you to read that first part. I'll take it from here. All right. This was the first, and I did have to edit. Thank you, Sin. It was great. You did a great job.
Yeah, I actually hold on. I'm not going to tell you exactly what David said. I'll just tell you this. It was very difficult for him.
He
earned his money this week.
That's right. This is my payback for reading the haiku earlier on.
Yeah.
This was the first podcast I found, and I am listening since Second Chances, but did go back and listen to some older episodes last summer when I did a Kagayan and Blood vs. Water rewatch, and that was fun too. Preseason episode with Ryan Kaiser as a third member was good, so I hope to see him again, or Cass and Wentworth as guests. Us too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I was telling Connie about our numbers. As you know, I put on our Facebook group, which, by the way, I miss being on the Facebook group. Y'all, I'm sorry. I have been so swamped. I can't even glance over there during the day, and I really apologize. But it's such a great group. But I was telling, I told in the group that we're just having, like, phenomenal numbers, like more downloads than we've ever had and exponential growth. It's awesome. It's great. And Connie's like, well, don't you only do 4 episodes a month? I was like, well, yeah. Well, then how can you get that many? I said, Connie, we have 293 other episodes that people can download. She goes, really? People go back and download previous seasons' episodes? It's like, yeah, they do.
See, I would love to go back and watch a season like One World and listen to our podcast as we did them, but I would be scared to death to go back and listen to how ridiculous we sounded back then.
In our little tinny microphones.
Yes.
I wonder if I have that effect on my thing. Go ahead.
All right. So about this season, I love it so much. Cast is great. All 3 or 4 episodes are great. I did hate to see Tony and now Malcolm go, but they can't boot Sierra 4 times, which would be perfect. There is a price to be paid for a great season, and some great players leaving must happen. That's right. If you're going to have a good season.
I totally agree. Oh, whoops, wrong one.
There are 3 survivors that I don't care much about. Sierra, Ty, and Debbie. Anyone gone from those 3 next episode, I would not consider a loss, but all the rest are great, and anyone outside of them winning this season is awesome. Brad is great this season. I love how calm and collected he was this season, and especially last episode with winning 2nd place for his tribe on that reward, and his performance on Tribal Council, one of the main reasons they won that tribal. I totally agree. I liked him first time too, and never did understand why people hate him. I recommend reading Mario's Funny 115 about Brad. It was a really great entry and explains a lot. I'm presuming that's Mario Lanza. Did he write the Survivor stuff?
I'm really not sure.
Okay. Are you Brad?
Isn't that what our early episodes sounded like?
Are you Brad yelling at me?
Yeah. Go left. Go left. Right.
Tie. Okay.
All right, sorry.
Troy Zan again. Oh, I agree. I like Brad in the first Blood versus Water. I don't know if it was an NFL thing. I just liked him.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. Does anybody in the chat room know where Mario's Funny 115 is?
Is that Mario Lanza? I want to say it is.
Well, I don't know, but even if it is, I don't know where he's at, and I'd like to be able to promote it. So, anybody know where he's at? Because we put links to other sites and other shows and stuff on our website. Yeah. So, I guess we'll wait and see if anybody tells us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Troy Zan again, same like Brad. Troy Zan again, same like Brad. One of the rare I liked in his first season. I love how big a fan of the show he is and how much he wanted his second chance. I didn't like how Sari blamed him for losing that reward. I mean, he did play against an ex-NFL player, and I don't think there is anyone on that tribe who could do better than him in that challenge, so I can't wait to see how he is going to play his idol and who he picks to target. I hope it's Sari.
By the way, y'all, that whole paragraph was one sentence. I love you. I love you. Please send in more feedback. I love it.
For some reason, Sandra is being edited like a villain, and my guess is she will be gone soon, but as I said, there is a price to pay for a great season. I miss more Aubrey, Varner, Michaela, and Andrea time, but there are so many good players and big characters in so little time. That's a good point. And last and not least, Haley, or Blue Eyes, if you ask Brad, was so impressive this season, she managed to jump over 2 spots in her tribe. I feel like I'm reading a postseason feedback, because he keeps referring to this season.
Yeah, he does. It's like, Haley was. I'm like, do you know something we don't know?
Yeah. She had a great tribal performance again. She wanted to flip and wanted to eliminate a big challenge threat, but not risking sending Sierra home. JT, or TJ, I'm not sure anymore, told Brad Sierra's original plan, and I suspect Haley had it confirmed when talking to Sandra. So her first plan was to make the other tribe vote out Brad. But after they didn't go for that, she had a talk with Sierra. I think Sierra told her Ty has an idol. We didn't hear it just after that. Haley reacted surprised. She did. Haley had that surprise with so it must be something that is important and new information for her. That's a good point. I forgot about that. When Haley said, I was just trying to change everything, Sierra said something and Haley kind of went, and just kind of like sat down. Like that's the end of that conversation. So new plan, use the idol, vote out Malcolm. Also a big challenge threat. Tribe switched from voting Sandra to voting Malcolm as Sierra and Haley wanted. At tribe camp, Sierra said she wanted Malcolm. Haley was nodding rest and throwing Sandra's name. Credits for great move and great play goes to Brad and Haley the most, and then Sierra, locking Haley's vote. And Ty for finding that idol. I can't wait for the next episode. Who knows what will happen, but one thing is for sure, it will be a lot of fun. All the best. Keep doing a great job, and lots of greetings from Sin from Serbia. P.S. I did cut my name so someone doesn't break their tongue over it. And yes, you are welcome.
Awesome. By the way, David, you know his JT or TJ, I am not sure, was a reference to me yet again messing up someone's name.
Yes, indeed.
By the end of the season, I will have messed up everybody's name at least once, including my own.
Including mine, yes.
Yeah. Dwavid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the ever-popular Miriam and her kale and black cat love. And since Funny15, thank you, Tina, in the chat room, funny115.com, Mario's stuff. That's where you find it. funny115.com. All right, so let me go to Dropbox here, where I put her feedback, and we will listen to it. So here's Miriam. We're going to get 2 doses of kale and 2 doses of black cats, because she sent 2.
Hi, Dave and Dwayne. This is Miriam, also known as Vader Girl. Just what do you guys think of Ozzy's winter edit now? Might have been joking around about it last week when I said Ozzy had a winner's edit, but demonstrated by this last episode, it's not so laughable, is it? I just felt something in the force. I mean, it's not like I wanted to choose Ozzy over Malcolm. I think Malcolm's great. He's fan favorite. Sad to see him go, but in a way I was happy to see him go because I had a feeling when I was doing my fantasy team that Malcolm, for some reason, I just had this, maybe got something in the force, kind of like when I picked Jeremy to win. Sometimes you get a feeling about people, or when I felt good about David Wright. But I just have been feeling like Ozzy's going to do well, and I had a feeling that Malcolm was not for some reason. So I love him to death, sad to see him go, but I just had a feeling, and that's why I didn't draft him. But, so I'm sad for all you guys that lost your winner. And I say winner, chicken dinner, and I'm happy for myself, and I don't want to rub salt in wounds, and I know we all take this all personally, but I'm excited for Ozzy, and I'm seeing a winner's at it. So, love you guys. May the force be with you. Black cats and kale for life, and talk to you guys soon in the chat. Bye.
You know, I'm really offended that Miriam not only eats kale, but she also eats black cats. I'm really either that or she has black cats for pets and also kale. All right, part 2.
Hi, Dave and Dwayne. This is Miriam again. Vader Girl. I'm just leaving a second comment. This one might go under the time, and I'm sorry, but I wanted to also just send love to Sunday Birdquest. What an amazing interview last week. Thank you so much for sharing her story, her faith, her survival. Having lost my mother to cancer, I really took her message to heart of hope and faith, and I just wanted to thank her and thank you guys for that. It was beautiful. Thank you so much. God bless. And I also just wanted to I'm not trying to rub in that I think Ozzy's winning, and also that Rob Sesternino picked him as a winner. Not just me, though I did it first, but we're on the same wavelength. I wanted to say I think Boston Rob played 4 times before he won. And I just think Ozzy has what it takes right now, and it seems like he's in a good spot. And I feel like he's getting the winners out of it. I just feel he's winning. I think Malcolm's incredible. I hope he gets to play again. I love him. He's a fan favorite. But like I said, the Force told me something. Just like with Jeremy Collins, sometimes I feel it, and I just have a feeling. So we'll see. But I love the whole cast. I think everybody's great. I really love Jeff Varner. I love him so much. I love everybody. The Green Tribe is awesome, and it's just an exciting, exciting time. I'm so glad Survivor is always there. Such entertainment. It keeps going. Thank you, Jeff Probst. We love you. And live long and prosper, guys. Thanks again. Bye.
I've watched the Star Wars movies.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think the Force tells people trivial things like who's going to win Survivor.
And I was thinking about this today as far as having the package to play Survivor, covering all aspects of the game. Boston Rob, to me, is one of the most complete players to play Survivor. I do think the season he won was a little tilted, but he still won the game decidedly, dominated the game. Unfortunately for Ozzy, he's not playing against new players this season. He's playing against extremely smart players, I think, including Sandra and others. I think it would be very hard for him to win on his fourth time like Rob did.
Right.
But unfortunately, I don't think Ozzy's going to win this season either. He is a sentimental pick. He's a super nice guy and a very tough player. I just think he's going to be taken out by players that don't want to face him in challenges.
Yeah.
So.
I also feel like if Miriam had 10 more hours, she would have sent 10 more feedback to tell us how much Ozzy's going to win.
And sorry, I'm still laughing that she said we laugh, and I'm still laughing.
No, you're not. You're laughing at what I just. Oh, you haven't read what I just sent you yet.
Hasn't
You
popped up
should.
yet.
You read it? Go ahead and read it. David's about to laugh, y'all.
I can't laugh.
See? Told y'all. Oh, man. Oh, do we have any more feedback, David?
Yes, we do. So we can't have any more private conversations while we have feedback.
Sorry.
Okay. And
Bobby
it's you. Yes.
from Connecticut. Hello, guys. This is Bobby from Connecticut. I remember to include the location this time. Well, thank you, Bobby. I don't think Ty made a good decision in revealing his idol to his tribe. I get what he thinks he was doing in trying to form trust, but he has a track record of making himself stand out, and as someone who will betray you with the changing of the wind. I think he should be playing a bit more discreetly, but now he has made himself the reason a different person got voted out. You shouldn't want a spotlight on you pre-merge. As for who they voted out, I think voting out Malcolm is a mistake. And I'm placing this blame primarily on Brad. I really don't think Brad is playing a good game. And I come away from this episode seeing him as an early post-merge boot. Why is he making it a point to eliminate the physical people while also making himself stand out in challenges? Sure, he got Ty to use the idol, but all doing that did was make himself stand out even more. As for the well, now, okay, I don't understand that. If he says, okay, Bobby, if you're saying that Ty put a target on his back because he played the idol, well, then that would mean that everybody's giving Ty the credit for playing the idol. Mm-hmm. But then here you say Brad getting Ty to play the idol was make himself stand out even more. Which one is it? Or is it both? Can it be both, David?
Could be both.
All right. Here we go. As for the tribal itself, I thought it was a cool twist, but I think it would have been better done when all the tribes had the same number of players so that you could potentially have had the rock draw scare come into play and see who flips. They did this twist a week too late, in my opinion. Overall, I think it was a good episode. I come away having a fairly good idea where everyone stands, and I like that the edit is trying to give as many of them as possible some airtime, instead of letting one person hog it all. Thumbs up to the editors. Yeah, I bet Andrea doesn't feel that way, and Aubrey doesn't feel that way. Did we hear? Nope. I think Aubrey had one comment the whole episode. Sheesh. Yeah. But I do see what he's saying. Hopefully, Troyzan has more airtime next episode because he is my favorite. Good night, guys. See you next week. Unless I forget to send feedback again, I probably will.
Honestly.
Thank you, Bobby, from Connecticut. I wonder why the C is silent in Connecticut. I wonder. Go ahead, David.
This one's from Andy Westover. Good evening, D&D. As I typically like to give idle plays some historical context, let me start with some info regarding Ty's idle play.
Good job, yes.
Yeah. This was the 49th overall idle play and 21st successful play. Now, are we going to talk about who played the idol?
Oh, just for clarification, if you are in our D&D Survivor Challenge in our Facebook group, David and I have, for several seasons, I think we've been doing this now for 5 seasons, have said that for our challenge, whoever actually plays the idol gets credit for the idol play. So if Ty had gotten up and went to Jeff with the idol and said, I am playing this for Sierra, then we would have given him credit for playing the idol, and whoever had him on their team would have gotten those points. However, Ty gave the idol to Sierra, and then she had a choice whether or not to play it or not, and she decided to play it. So Sierra gets the points for her teams. Whoever has her on their team gets the points for Sierra playing the idol, and that's why that happens. There you go.
All right, continuing on. This was the 49th overall idol play and 21st successful play. The idol has only been played 15 times for other players, of which only 6 have now been successful. This is the first successful play since David Wright's play for Jessica Lewis last season, which was the last in a streak of 11 consecutive successful plays, and is tied with David and Tom Westman, season 20, for the earliest successful idol play in Survivor history. Only Christina Kell had played an idol earlier, second tribal council in season 22, though it was unsuccessful. I'm not sure if that was one sentence, but I read it as if it was. Since I imagine that you will discuss the amazing craziness of that tribal council at length, let me just sum up my thoughts on it with a few #wows. I feel like a large majority of the players in the season have been largely invisible, though much of this is likely to blame on the third tribe format, which I otherwise love. A few have stood out to me. Number 1, Sandra. Ugh. I'm struggling to watch her and have found her quite grating. I think she has deviated too far from her successful formula and is taking too much control / spotlight.
Maybe so.
I reckon this will lead to her demise sooner rather than later. 2, Brad. He's been amazing. Who saw that coming?
I know.
His handling of Ty last week and his sustained calm in the chaos of this tribal council really showed a different Brad, and I'm happy to see it. Though I think he is generally seen as a leader, no one seems to resent him the way they resent Sandra. And it is even approaching the realm of hero worship from his tribe, which leads me to believe he could be around a while.
I don't know
That's
if
a
y'all
good
can
point.
hear David anymore. Oh, what? David, I didn't hear
sorry.
any of that. And it is even approaching... Can you read that?
Okay. Though I think he is generally seen as a leader, no one seems to resent him the way they resent Sandra, and it is even approaching the realm of hero worship from his tribe, which leads me to believe he could be around a while.
Well, let's think about this.
I was about to say I think that's a great point.
Yeah. Well, Sandra's going around, I'm the queen, right? Controlling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad's going around decorating and making tribe life more comfortable.
Right. And she mentions that nobody knows she's leading, whereas everybody's talking about how, she's leading, but we know she thinks she's leading.
I agree. I think she's in a bad spot.
Yeah. Number 3, Sierra. I hoped we would see her be more active this season, and so far it looks very positive for her in terms of her edit. She was all but invisible in Worlds Apart, but this season she seems to be more engaged and is in somewhat of a leadership role. Obviously, that is not always a good thing, but I think that the fact that they are showing it suggests she may be around quite a while. Well, she was also in a tribe with Rodney and Mike and Dan, so it's kind of hard to stand out around Rodney, Mike, and Dan. Yeah. But she is...
Well, she did get to say a couple times, Dan, you did this. Dan, you did this.
Yeah. Because
Dan kept doing it.
And she was right. So, number 4, Haley. I'm I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that I find her play and edit to be puzzling. She doesn't seem to be doing much, but is getting confessionals and general screen time. Her counters on Caleb and Tribal Council last week were completely on point, but her Tribal Council behavior this week was just plain bizarre. She is playing like someone you think has far more power in the game than she appears to have, and mostly seems to honestly be getting away with it. I'm not sure how that is happening. Any thoughts or explanations?
I do have a thought on that.
Mm-hmm.
Haley was trying to get the other tribe, trying to get Sandra and them to listen to her. And if they had listened to her, then Brad would be gone. But they wouldn't listen to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah, she's trying to do stuff. And if they had listened to her, things would have gotten done. But if no one's going to listen to you, then you don't have any choice.
But if Brad went, how much of a chance does that tribe have of winning the next challenge?
Oh, they're going to switch things up again. You know they will.
Just saying. Just in case they throw in the twist of not switching things up. So, but usually when he wrote, she doesn't seem to be doing much, but is getting confessionals and general screen time, usually means they're trying to tell a story, I think, and that she could last a while into the merge.
Yep.
Overall, it's been a fantastic season so far, so hopefully they keep it coming. Andy Westover from Cameron, Missouri.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. Mike from Canada, our final feedback before some amazing stuff the rest of the show. Hi, guys. Mike from Canada, eh? Checking in with just a couple of comments, but important ones, I think. An exciting double tribal council, kind of, with lots of nervous energy, gameplay, and things we haven't seen. In the end, Malcolm was a bigger loss than the gain viewers got from what played out. For me, the biggest surprise was in a season where first and second place always mattered. Now it didn't. Jeff should have stopped the challenge after the first place winner was declared. I would have liked to see second place get to secretly tell Jeff the name of one player they would like designated safe at Tribal Council without the third place team knowing in advance. That way, a consistency of sorts would have been maintained. Sorry for being so late, but I was at the doctor for quite a while. Thanks for listening. D&D, Mike. Thanks for listening, D&D, Mike. Thank you, Mike. I was trying to figure out what I was going to think. Oh, okay. That was interesting. Having the second place tribe get to make one of their people safe. But you know what would have happened last night? They would have told the other tribe, so-and-so's safe.
So he's saying Jeff should not have stopped the challenge after first place was declared, and he would have liked to have seen second place get to. So second place, you get to save somebody on the other tribe. That's what he's saying.
Other tribe?
Yeah, well, I would think he wants to tell Jeff the name of one player they would like designated safe at Tribal. They're not going to designate somebody at their own, so they're going to
they'll be safe. No, he's saying that they both still go to Tribal.
Oh, so pick somebody from how are you going to pick somebody from your own tribe to be designated safe?
Easy. You go, okay, we want Sandra safe. And then you go to Tribal Council and Sandra's safe. And the other team doesn't know it, and so they try to vote out Sandra, and it doesn't work. That's what he's saying. Would have been second place would have gotten an advantage.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is it wouldn't have mattered because they would have said, with all that talking going on, they would have told.
Yeah.
Although they didn't tell about Ty, so.
Yeah.
By the way, if y'all want to leave feedback for the show, you can do that at survivortalkwithdnd.com/feedback or stwdd.com/feedback.
You write them. We read them. iTunes reviews.
David, we have one new iTunes review this week. Fair warning, he does not like us at all. At all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did I say at all?
You did.
The title of the feedback is Don't Waste Your Time.
Can you give a 0-star review?
If he could have, he would have.
Okay.
He gave us 1 star, which does get us down to a 4.5 rating on iTunes. That 1 star did. But anyway, his name is Gator Cody, G8RCODY. Feel free to look him up on Google and tell him he's wrong. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Gator Cody on March 19, 2017. He says, 1 star out of 5. Are you ready for this, David?
Yep.
Here we go. Ooh, Tina has something to say about that. Did you see the chat room? Oh, Tina, if you don't like what he said, then go to iTunes and say, this review was not helpful.
What did she say? Did she say friend him?
Yes, you can. Yeah, she wants us to friend him. That's what F means. Friend him. Stop. All right, here comes Gator Cody. If you're looking for a good Survivor podcast, keep looking. These hosts are too self-absorbed.
We are.
Yeah, that's why we're reading your feedback. Mm-hmm. Too self-absorbed, too concerned about pandering to the contestants to truly be objective.
True.
Too obsessed with trying to monetize their podcast.
Oh, so true.
Yeah. And don't seem to have a good grasp of how the Survivor game actually works.
It's on Sundays, right?
I don't know. He might be right there. Huh?
It comes on Sundays?
Yeah. All right. Oh,
but thanks for listening.
In the chat room.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
At least
okay.
once.
Hopefully he didn't hear this part of the show, because if he hates us, then why would he have listened 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Oh, I don't think he's listening anymore.
No, he's not listening. No. Otherwise, I mean, what we say one thing about one thing an episode about supporting us if you want to. I knew we should have said only people who like us, David. We should have just, But I said we were going to read all of them, so we're going to read all of them. By the way, stay tuned. At the end of the show, I'm going to read my 2 favorite quotes from other less than stellar feedback.
You know what? He's got a good point about the monetary thing, except for the fact that every podcast asks for monetary support. And so that's just all I'm going to say right there.
Yeah.
In one form or another. We can't afford to pay people to ask for money, so we have to do it ourselves.
All right. Anyway. Okay, so if you like us, right? If you like us, you're probably still listening. If you don't, you're not listening anymore. Go leave us an iTunes review, and we will read it on the air. And yes, even if you don't like us, we'll read it on the air, but you're probably not still listening. After, of course, I mark no. Was this very helpful if you write a negative review? With that wonderful review, we now have 150 ratings, David. 150 people have clicked on a star beside our podcast episodes, or besides our podcast. 115 of them have left written reviews, and we have an average rating of 4.5 stars, which is pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Can't please everybody. Thank you to everyone who has taken the time to rate us and leave a review. It means a lot, and yes, people actually read them. Like when I go to buy something on Amazon, I check the reviews. So, all right, David, do you have anything else? I think you might.
I do. I have something on a very, very positive note, and it comes from a good friend of ours, Jordan and Ian Shekowitz. And it is a promo for a reality game similar to what we attend in Durham, up in Maine.
Oh, and it's not Durham.
No, it is not in Durham. So here is the promo. It says, interested in Survivor. And if you aren't, then you're probably listening to the wrong podcast. Think you have what it takes to win? Have you ever wanted a chance to play with a family member or a friend to see who can outlast the other? Then Pirate Survival Expedition is for you.
David's locked up. You might want to say that again. The YouTube people will not hear it. Probably the audio people will have heard it, but YouTube
all right.
won't.
Pirate Survival Expedition is for you. If you are available July 23rd through 29th to come to Macomb, Illinois, then apply with partner today for Pirate Survival Expedition. What's the matter?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Did I say it wrong?
No, I'm not. No, just go ahead.
I'm thinking of Macomber. That's somebody's password I know. That's where I was getting that from.
Really?
Yeah. It is a blood versus water theme, so you need a family member or close friend to apply. If you have that person, go to, here you go, www, and I'm going to put this on our Facebook page, www.piratebootycamp.com. That's C-A-M-P. So www.piratebootycamp.com. No Gracie will be in Nag's Head during that time.
Pirate Booty Camp?
Yes.
Booty, as in B-O-O-T-Y.
As in gold and treasure. Yes. Pirate Booty Camp.
Okay. Why don't you spell it?
www.piratebootycamp.com.
All right.
To fill out the application And one reason we're bringing this up tonight is because time is running out to get in your application. All the money from this event goes to a local charity, Project Hope in Macomb. For more information, contact Jordan Shekowitz on Facebook or email her at jordan.becker89@yahoo.com. That's jordan.becker89@yahoo.com. So, Blood vs. Water theme reality event at the end of July, 23rd through 29th. Look on our Facebook page, and we will put the link on there. And plus, you get to meet Jordan and Ian. So, that's pretty cool right there.
All right. Good job. Well, with nothing else to talk about, it looks like we're at the end of our show, and we are about to read my two favorite lines from Less Than Stellar podcast reviews. So we want to thank everyone for being part of the D&D family. Thanks for watching us, listening to us, for sharing our podcast with others, and for writing stwdd.com all over your neighbor's car. Seriously, this is a good idea. David, I'm about to give amazing advice.
Okay.
All right. Usually at this point, David kind of zones out because he thinks the show's over. But it's not. Does someone keep parking their car in your space? Did someone cut you off to pull into that spot you were obviously waiting for? You know that guy dating your daughter? The one who didn't come to the door to pick her up, but instead stayed in his car on the street and honked his horn for 5 seconds 10 times in a row? Get out that permanent marker and tag that car with stwdd.com.
No! That's a lawsuit just waiting to happen.
Oh, I mean, get window stuff and put it on their window.
Oh, my gosh.
Obviously, I don't want you to deface people's cars, but you know how they have that white shoe polish stuff and you put it on the windows?
I need to read your notes before we make them public.
Oh, come on. You could do that. You could do it with white shoe polish or whatever.
Will, we may be calling you. We might be calling you, Will, just in case.
All right. Here we go, y'all. Since we've got a negative review tonight, I thought I'd have some fun. I thought it would be fun to share two of my favorite lines from our Less Than Stellar reviews. Actually, it's 3 lines, 3 different lines, one from one and 2 from another. This one is from October 2016 by CatLove88. This person actually likes us. We were given 3 stars. We would have gotten 4 if. I would add a star if Dwaine would pronounce Parvati's name correctly. And the irony about it is this person spelled my name incorrectly in the review.
And the funny thing about it is you still pronounce names wrong all over the game.
Oh, I do it all the time. Yeah.
I kept trying to figure out who Cherie was. Cherie is not playing this season. I don't know who Cherie is. And who is TJ? I have yet to see a TJ show up this season.
Yeah. Well, we had that comment on one of our places where they said, I know you don't like Cherie because you kept pronouncing her name wrong. I was like, no, you don't understand. I pronounce everybody's name wrong.
He does.
Please, you haven't listened to us enough if you don't realize that. All right, but here's my favorite. This guy hates us. Listen. You thought the last guy today didn't like us? This guy, wow. This one is from October 2015 and was submitted by, well, I'll save that for the end. He or she titled the review, Welcome to the Bottom of the Podcast Barrel. David, there are no other podcasts worse than us. We are the worst.
Well, if you got to be bad at something, might as well be the best at it.
If you're going to be in the barrel, you might as well be at the bottom.
That's right.
Right? Here's one of his quotes from his review, which was very long. I've been an occasional listener to Survivor Talk with D&D. I like to call it Survivor Talk with Dumb and Dumber. There you go. So which one am I, David? Dumb or dumber?
Well, I'm probably dumber because you keep saying I think I know the game pretty well. And you say you don't. So you're only casually dumb. I'm dumber because I think I know the game, but I actually probably don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, look, if you made it this far, awesome. You're one of our true fans. But if you're just getting to know us, dude, we're just 2 guys that like the show. Don't expect an encyclopedia from this couple of guys. At least not from me. And here's the other one that I really like. He goes, oh, And another thing, these guys are continually ripping off ideas from RHAP, such as the Patreon group, and then slandering Rob, Stephen Fishback, and his know-it-alls show on their podcast. I mean, come on, really? Okay, we didn't do any of those things.
I guess
I did create a Patreon group for our patrons,
but
as everyone else does. So,
well, I guess he's saying
a little in shock
I'm
at the moment.
it
It's nice to go out in
I
the
don't
most
listen to it
ridiculous
because I
tribal
don't wanna
council in
be
the history of
influenced
tribal
for this
councils,
podcast.
but right now I'm pissed.
I don't want to be using someone
JT's
else's
not
ideas
getting a
or thoughts. I
Christmas
wanna
card.
use my own, so that's
Stupid
why I
kid
don't
couldn't
listen.
keep his mouth shut.
But then after we
and,
finish this podcast,
you know,
I
one of the
kinda
biggest
wanna take
experiences of
a
your
break
life just
from
came to
Survivor, get ready
what
for
feels
the
like an
next
extremely
week. So I really
premature
don't
end
listen to
is
any other podcasts.
hard to swallow.
no, I don't listen to any other podcast, but
Yeah.
not just because I've already done this one. So
I do-
This feedback was, okay, are you ready for this guy's name?
Yeah.
I am assuming, based on his name, that he is biased.
Yes. You think?
It was Sesternino-owned. So it's Sesternino and owned. So Sesternino owns him, is what he's saying. But he combines it into one word, Sesternino-owned. But listen, this is actually sad because neither us nor Rob like our fans to do this to other podcasts. So if you are a fan of ours, do not go to Rob's or anybody else's podcast and drag them down and compare them to us. If you want to drag them down for other reasons, fine, but not because of us, please. All right. Yes, David, I will not do that one. That's it for tonight, everybody. David, would you like to share a final word of wisdom? David.
Always be the last person to speak to Ty.
That's right. All right, everybody. Enjoy your rest of your week. See you later.
See ya.